Ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
My pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money.
Hold out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find the things in my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me, no, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. We're rocking solo right now. We'll see what's up with Bogart. And Ricky should be in the house in about hour and a half. Hour and a half. He'll be in the building. Who's smoking with me? All right. So for Ricky, we got to pull out like some super dope tree. So we got a couple different flavors here. This one is the Donnie Runts. Oh, yeah. Check that out. Real gassy. It's got like orangish red hairs, and it's got like a hint of purple as well. I don't know who Donnie is, but he's got some dope runts. That's for sure. Let's see who's up in the chat. And sorry, guys, I'm noticing my face. I'm like, fuck, one of my lights burnt out yesterday. And, yeah, it just fucking sucked. And it wasn't even the light. It was like the piece that lights up the light. So it's fucking annoying. Like half of my face is half of my face is like dim right now. And it's because of that. Got to get a new piece for the light. Let's see who's up in the chat. And Stranger, what up, bro? Shout out to the Houday Nation. And anybody has a question for Ricky Williams, leave it as a super chat, and it'll be where I can highlight it within the chat, and then when he gets here, we can pull it up and all that. Bakes a lot in the house. What up, bro? What's going down? And Marty said Harvey Dent. Totally got some Two-Face action here going, huh? Because yeah, it sucks. Like the light that works is over here. So that's why the light that used to be over here isn't working. That's why you see half of my face is dim. Hey, Minnesota Marty in the house. Dennis in the house. What up, Song in the house. All right, homie Raphael in the house. Top of the morning to everyone. Let's smoke it up. Ecumania said, anyone else jump up and do the suck it sign?
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got two words for you! The New Age Outlaws are back!
Zach said, I'll go dab with you, but let me tell you, this facelift is no joke. Bro, I saw the picture on Facebook. Damn, bro. You all right? They give you some good drugs at least? Because, yeah, if I can cut you all up, bro. Damn. Let's see. Oh, man. Yaku said I can't smoke till 4:30 Eastern, but I'm getting lit up like a Christmas tree then. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Yeah, Yaku said, love to see more Heisman in Massachusetts. And it was you, right, Yaku, who went to, like, when Heisman was having, like appearances and stuff out there? It was you who went there, right? And shouted us out? Because that's fucking awesome. What up, Chase? Said, morning, y'all. Narrowly avoided being flooded in my apartment last night. Damn, bro, that is rough. That is rough. Hope everything is okay. What the hell? Zach said, no, they only gave me 10 pain pills. Motherfuckers don't want to give them up. Fuck. That's it. From getting your whole face like fucking cut up and shit. Man, from surgery, I guess like what would that be? Maybe like 2 or 3 pills a day. So that just covers you for like 3 or 4 days. Like what the hell? Yeah, that's fucked up. What did it say? Temescal Wellness. Yep, and yes, I did. You the man. You the man. Because it got back to them. It got back to the peeps who are helping us with the marketing. You know, getting Ricky on the show. So yeah, they were excited. Yeah, I was so nauseated yesterday after all the diluted. I came home and hit the dab rig and went away. Okay, yeah. I'll be right back. I gotta turn on this air. Thought I turned it on, but man, it is hot. All right. Yeah, Vegas is fucking getting hot. What up, Trip? Said Ricky Nelson. So what is that? It's like a mix of Ricky Williams and Willie Nelson, huh? What up, Trip? All right. What do we got here? We got 97 days to go before the start of the NFL season. Super, super excited. Super excited. And Yaku say you're massively appreciated. Has any way I can help the homies, I will. One love. You the man, Yaku. Not sure where Bogey's at. Maybe he went down a mushroom rabbit hole yesterday and hasn't come out yet. All right, so 97 days until the NFL season kicks off. One thing that I'm working on right now is a bunch of rankings for IDP. I don't know how much offensive rankings I'm actually going to work on here because it's really all about the IDP. I mean, that's why we do so many of the mock drafts and stuff because rankings fucking suck to do and shit changes so often that like, man, you just always got to change them. It's annoying. What up, Hassan? Oh, and reminder, we weren't sure if we were going to do. Oh, actually, there we go. That lights up my face. We're going to do, thanks to our homie Minnesota Marty, he put together a little Jeopardy game for us. We're planning that for Tuesday, this Tuesday, and we usually get going around 5 o'clock West Coast time. So yeah, get ready. If anybody wants to come on live for that, that would be super cool. And any members of the 420 crew got the green light to come on, and I'll be your host with the most. I'll be Alex Trebek for this one. And yeah, Marty, you the man. Yeah, and yeah, because I had to. The one thing that kind of sucks, like I want to be involved in these, but I gotta like set everything up as far as like, you know, getting all the graphics and everything. So I already saw all the questions, but yeah, it's gonna be super fun either way. I cannot wait. And Yaku said my IDP league is gonna be Dallas defense, doomsday defense, baby. Let's go. Chase said, who's going to be Sean Connery? Oh, man. Cannot wait. This is going to be fun. And then tonight, we didn't know if we were going to do the silver screen breakdowns tonight, but our man Nelly now, his technical difficulties have been solved, and we are breaking down the butterfly effect. This one is going to be fucking dope. If you guys haven't seen the butterfly effect, go watch it in advance. We're going live at 5 West Coast time. This is going to be super, super fun. And if anybody has any fantasy questions, feel free to throw them in now. I was assuming Bogey was going to be here with me, so I didn't like plan like a bunch of segments or anything. Just thought we'd be able to, you know, do what we do. And yeah, Marty says, hell yeah, SSB tonight. We are back, baby. We are back. And Butterfly Effect. It's such a trippy fucking movie. I know Nelson's never seen it before. Well, I mean, he's seen it now officially, but never saw it before we were doing the podcast. So I'm really, really excited to hear what he thinks about this. Because, yeah, I mean, who knows what he even thinks of a guy like Ashton Kutcher if, he just thinks of him from like the, that 70s show and other things just like that. All right. Man, this Donnie is so good. It's like super like skunky, but it has this weird hint of like lavender purple like as well. Super fucking cool. Yeah, this Donnie runs. Like I said, I don't know who the hell Donnie is, but man, I really do like his runs. All right. Let's see. What else are we going to talk about here? Okay, so let's see. Where's some of the video ideas that you guys gave us? Maybe we'll, let's see. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit of that right now, and I can just kind of cut it out. Cut it out. All right, let me get a pencil so I can remember where we start and stop. But, yeah, what about some dynasty strategy? You guys want to hear some dynasty strategy? What would you rather me talk about right now for dynasty strategy? Contenders strategy or a rebuild strategy? Ooh, nice. That's a good one. That's a good one, Dennis. Yeah, anyone who leaves a super chat, it goes into a starred like pretty much everything that I have here, like the system that I'm using, it shows all the comments. But if you leave a super chat, it goes into like a separate like category where I can just pull all those up real easy. Doesn't matter if the comment came in an hour ago or like 2 seconds ago, to be amongst this list of all the super chats that came in. But yeah, there we go. That's a good one for Ricky. I know he's really trying to get into as many states as possible. So yeah, that'll be a good one. Right. Yeah. If anyone wants to ask Ricky a question, just leave it in as a super chat. Doesn't matter if it's $1, $2, whatever it is, it supports the channel, and we appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Let's see. What are some other things that we got to promote? Oh, yeah. We got the box break for next week. This one is going to be dope. We got 3 boxes at Dennis's request. He was telling me about these Playbook mega boxes. So the one right here. And yeah, he said he had some really good pulls, in there. It's a little bit more expensive than like, the other blaster boxes because it's a mega box. But 1 autograph or memorabilia card on average. So we'll see what we get there. And yeah, I'm excited though. And then we also got the 2022 Illusions blaster box, and we're gonna do a Don Russ blaster box as well. And let's go. We're gonna get that downtown. We're gonna get that downtown Don Russ in one of these. We've been waiting for so long. It's coming. It is coming. And all the teams are $10, and you'll see only a handful of teams have been taken so far. So the teams available: Cardinals, Panthers, Bears, Browns, Broncos, Lions, Texans, Colts, Raiders, Patriots, Giants, Eagles, Seahawks, Bucks, and the Titans are available. And Zach said, I hope they put cookies here in Minnesota. That's where I found the Tikal. Nice. Tikal. And cookies is one of those ones. I mean, shit, it's going everywhere. And pretty much every time they legalize the state, like cookies is one of like the first ones out there. So yeah, for sure. I mean, they were it's just it's a familiar brand to me. And so even like when I came out to Vegas, like before we even lived here, the Cookies was one of the ones that I found, and we tried out that dispensary. And then when we actually moved out here, Cookies, I think I went there before, before California started calling. We had a couple times where we were just hitting up the Cookies, and I guess what sucks is that you have to catch it when they have the fresh drops, because like the bud tenders, they always promote the shit for the fresh drops, but like then it's like the other stuff just like sits and sits and sits and sits, ends up being trash by the time you buy it. So that's one of the things that sucks. And Marty said, man, I can't wait till we can walk into a dispensary and actually have options to choose from. Man, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I said, finally we'll be able to tell us what I'm smoking on. Plug never gives me a strain name. Yeah, and seeing that's kind of the issue with a lot of let's say non-legal areas where the culture just is not that, because even back when when I was an independent contractor kind of doing my thing, like, man, I mean, I would have more flavors than dispensaries would have. But that, I mean, just different, just California culture. And Yaku said, Cookies is like Walmart here. Their prices ain't their prices ain't right in their mids. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and seeing that's kind of the problem with just like dispensaries in general, is like it's crazy, because like, so Redwood Cultivations, official sponsor of the show, we got to get more flavors in from them soon. I mean, they're telling me prices that they're like selling. They're telling us prices that they're like selling the pounds to pretty much like the biggest dispensary like in Las Vegas. And like I'm getting offended by like them telling me like, man, these guys like they don't even want to pay $1,500 a pound. And it's like ridiculous, because like the stuff that they're buying for $1,500 a pound, they're like selling for like 75 and eighth in Planet 13. And that's just like insane, because that's not even including the tax or anything with the 75 and eighth. And let's see, and how many eighths are in? Let's see. How many eighths? 8 times 16, 128 times 75. I mean, shit, man, like they're like 10. I mean, I know that they have bills to pay, but like they're like 10 timesing like the money. It sucks, because yeah, the tourists and everything will just pay for it out there. So yeah, that's just, it sucks. Let's see. Hey, Zoo Crew in the house said, yeah, the Cookies over here, but it's overpriced. I'd rather shop at Mint Cannabis for sure. Yes, that's one of the things, man, is like, I don't know. It's like someone will buy it, and like these guys, like they're just willing to just go super slow on it, I guess. One second. All right. Hey, BS Barbarians in the house. What up, homie? What is going down? All right. And yeah, and Zoo Crew, they have I know that you're in Kalamazoo. That's why we call you Zoo Crew. Are they located actually in Kalamazoo, the Cookies, or do you got to drive to like I mean, I don't even know how far you are from Detroit or anything. That's just the only major city that I know out there. All right. Hey, what up, Michael? He said, got some Mellow Out, man, and Labrador by Tommy Chong. Nice. Let me see. I'm trying to see if see, here's whoa. Here's one of the ones from Cheech and Chong. I don't have any more of the tree, but I still kept the jar. The Love Machine. Yeah, so they keep everything like on brand with their Cheech and Chong stuff. Super, super cool. And yeah, you guys are gonna go hit up a game. I like it. Yeah, I went to which game was it that I went to? So not last season, it was 2 seasons ago now. It was and I went to Minnesota, and it was I wasn't there for long though. It was such a short like turnaround like time, and yeah, what the hell was it? It was the Vikings and the Steelers. That's what it was on a Thursday night game. And Yaku said, example, cookies here is at the one place, the Acer 50, and you can get a quarter of the Temescal for 30 to 40, and it's better. So they're really just selling the name. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of sucks, you know. I mean, you're kind of, I mean, a lot of times you're paying for the brand name more than the quality, because, like, I mean, okay, like, let me just give you my experience. So, like, with cookies specifically, when I moved out here. So when I move out to Vegas, cookies is really the main one that I know about, and there's like cookies on the strip, and there's like a cookies like off the an off the grid, you know, cookies. And it's not even really off the grid. It's just what's it called? It's just not on the strip. It's on like Flamingo, I think. And so I go in. First off, the line sucked to get in there because everybody kind of knows about it. And like when you actually want, there's like specific bud tenders who actually come and help you. So like when you go through, there's someone who comes and helps you, and they're like your little liaison or whatever. And then pretty much they're just telling me about the Gary Payton OG, and oh, it was so fresh. Like we just got it in like, you know, 2 weeks ago or whatever. And it was like harvested on this date. And I was like, shit, let's get it. And it was 50. I think it was 50 an eighth. It was either 50 or 60 an eighth, one of the two. And so I got it, and then got a sativa like as well, and like both were super good and super fresh. And then I go back in 2 weeks, and then there's no Gary Payton, and I'm like, what's the fresh stuff that's in? And they're like, well, we haven't gotten anything in like this week or anything. And then like pretty much the 2 or 3 kinds that I got, they were just like dry as hell. They just come in the Mylar bags, not in the not in any kind of jars that keep it a little bit fresh. And so yeah, I was over it like after that second time. I was totally over it after that second time. All right, let's see here. Hey, there we go. Ricky's getting ready for the show because he just shared the story on Instagram right now. There we go. And let's see. Oh shit! Marty said we can go watch Mahomes week 5. That would be a dope ass fucking game to go to. Vikings and the Chiefs. Zach said every time I hit cookies in Denver, it's always been on point. To Cal, just fire sweet grease. I like it, bro. And see, and I guess that's what's different, right? Is like it's the brand cookies, but like every shop is not created equal. Like, man, that's one of the things where like, man, like I wish I could get connected with some of these dispensaries and be like their customer service coach or something and teach these fucks like like I don't know, like how to be like I'm just good at what they do, because like a lot of these people in the dispensaries just like suck. They don't know shit, and they're just reading like off a list or whatever, and you know, lame. Yaku said here the cookies brand is exclusive to this dispensary called Berkshire Roots in Massachusetts. Oh shit, so they don't even have an actual cookies so they don't even have an actual cookie store out there. They just have the what's it called? They just have their stuff in certain shops. Yeah, for sure. And Zoo Crew said, nah, there's one in Kalamazoo. Then Ann Arbor, okay, I'm not sure Detroit, but yeah, it's about a 10-minute drive. But literally got 30, 40 dispos. Yeah, it's a great halfway between Detroit and Chicago, for sure. For sure. Hell yeah, Marty, that was a sick-ass game. I can't remember who won. Wasn't it Pittsburgh who won it? Well, I mean, you're saying it was a sick game, so I guess it had to be the Vikings that probably won. Yeah, Yaku said different states differently differ. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Harrison punches the ball out of oh, that's what it was. Fryermuth was in the end zone, and then bow, he punched it out. I totally remember that. I totally remember that now. Zach said, I'm about to leave the union once the dispensaries open up here in Minnesota. That's my dream job. Hell yeah, man. That'd be super dope to get in the mix there. Yaku said, Hawaiian snow, I've always had it tasty, mostly same experience as. Yeah, for sure. Yes, it shit sucks. And Dennis said, Hush, you start a dispensary here in Minnesota. You could sell Heisman to Cal, Ellis Greens, etc. I'd run it for you. Man, see, like, that'd be so awesome. And, like, it's really just, I guess what sucks, like, it's having all the connections, right? Because, like, you have to have, like, whatever state you're in, you have to be growing in that state. Like, once it's federally legal, I bet it's going to be way better, like, having dispensaries. But I've ran delivery services and all that. So, yeah, like, really what we need is some investors. That's what we need. We need some investors. Because I would definitely get on the train of that. Yeah, BS said that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, they said they don't give a fuck. Yeah, exactly. The dispensaries don't give a fuck about anything. And it's kind of lame, too. It really is. It really is because, like, why? Like, it's still, like, such a trap game. Like, that's what sucks. Is like, man, we're like, it's not fucking, it's fully legal now. Legal as anything. And, like, these dispensaries are still treating it like it's a trap game, man. Like, come on. Come on. Yeah, BS said brands invest a lot in education. Yeah, see, that's what's like for their own people, like the what's it called? What's it say? I'm like, yeah, just like you said, the brands invest a lot in education, and it's like the brand representative who's like selling to the dispensaries. And I know like certain people will they'll go in and they'll like teach the guys of they'll teach the guys about like the stuff, but yeah, like that's really it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, BS, like to educate the bud tenders. Yeah, but it actually takes them like going in there, and things like that. And yeah, and I guess that's the issue also, okay? Because like if like some brands are coming in and doing that, because not all brands are doing it. We already know that. And then other brands aren't. It's like those bud tenders are literally just going to push the one thing that brand is fucking, talking about. Like, yeah, see, like I would want to have, like, if it was me, I would have like contests, for the bud tenders and shit like that. Like really, really make it fun because, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's really all about the culture. And I mean, I know dispensaries, like, it's all about the sales, no matter what. I mean, that's what I would be doing. But it all begins and ends with the customer service. That's for sure. Hey, Hess in the house. What up, what up? Like I said, sounds like I arrived at the perfect time. Yes, sir. So Ricky should be on in hour-ish. He'll be here at some time in about an hour-ish. BS said nearly all the pot in New Mexico. Yeah, it comes from Cali for sure. And I guess like how do the dispensaries get away with it when everything needs to how would like when everything has to be documented and everything, I guess there's just ways of fudging the documents, I guess. Like, I don't know. That's the only thing that I could think about. Because I thought everything has to be what do they call that shit from farm to table or whatever the hell that shit's called, but everything needing to be tracked. Michael said, I hate going into a shop that don't display their buds and expect you to know what you want. Yeah, but get mad when you don't. Exactly. Because like, yeah, okay. And like, even with cookies, like, for example, like, man, like I've gone in there and like they have all of their shit like kind of like on display. They have these little like plastic, I don't even know what they are, because they're not like containers. They're not containers like this, but it is a little plastic like container type thing, and like you can pick it up and it's like connected with one of those like security wires or whatever, so you can't get it off. But man, like I've seen it like multiple times where you go and you pick up a kind and it's like all these hella tiny buds, and shit like that. And I know that like, I guess you don't want to put the creme de la creme bud, in there. But yeah, I mean, that's also what sucks as well. Like you're going to put all these shitty little nugs, you know, in here where people are shaking up and, you know, all this shit. And there's just a lot of problems in the 420 industry. And I guess there's so much gatekeeping also that that's also hard to like break in. Okay, you just take it to a farm and says, hey, this farm grew this. Okay, wink, wink. Okay. I get it. They're idiots. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, super excited for the Minnesota peeps because we got a big Minnesota following in the crew here. So I'm glad that you guys are going to be able to go hit up a dispensary finally. And you'll probably more than likely still stick with the same ways that you acquire a tree, you know, now. But one thing that the dispensaries do, they definitely make the people who are on the black market side of things, it definitely makes them step up their game, you know, because now it's so convenient that prices usually drop. And yeah, I mean, maybe more flavors start coming around because there's more legal weed, like a lot of good things. But yeah, I feel like most people are probably still going to get the tree the same way that you get it. But yeah, Dennis, as soon as Ricky gets on here, this will be one of the first things that we ask him. When is Heisman going to get out to Minnesota now that it's fully legal out there? Let's see. And Zach said Oklahoma is a big growing state. Jay Diggs just went there and opened a shop. Super dope. Super dope. Yeah, see, really what I'd like to do is with this big community that we got is really just pulling resources. Like that's what I feel. Because I don't have, I mean, being able to run it and game plan and things like that, like that's one thing. I guess it's the capital that's always been the toughest part for me in this game, because I've been connected to some people who kind of started things, but was never had enough means to be able to do it just on my own. But it would be super dope to have a dispensary owned, operated, and ran by the 420 crew. It would be so fucking sick. And yeah, especially with like a lot of the people that we have in the 420 crew, I know that can happen. It is all about just like pulling resources and having a community-based thing. Like that's really what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. And what up, Chase? He said, I'm glad the league backed off on testing players for it. Yeah, now they only get tested one time, I believe, and it's at the very, very beginning of training camp. You know exactly when it's going to be. But yeah, they need to back off of, man. Like, fuck. Like, I mean, as far as like healing your body and all that type of shit, like, man, I mean, you're really going to make like these players go through all this pain and then pop pills, and most of them drink, you know, so... Michael says, Ricky responsible for those Jeters. Those baby Jeters are fire. So they're not responsible for them, but I know they are collabing together. Like that's one thing that I saw. And we talked to Ricky about that. And he was super stoked about collabing with Jeters. So yeah, he was super excited. So be on the lookout. There's a lot of Jeters, but make sure you look out for the specific Heisman Jeters collab. Yeah, see, there you go right there. Hess just said it. Yeah, Heisman, Ricky's brand did a collab with Jeters, but Jeters is a totally separate company. Yes, sir. Ha! Zach said, I got a Jeter in my hands right now. And I know Jeter collabs with a lot of peeps with the flower that they use. Is that one just a Jeter, or is it Jeter collab someone else? Very curious. Let's see. What else do we got? Oh, yeah. So there's a bunch of people who are on the channel right now who were not when I mentioned this a little bit earlier. But this Tuesday, it is going to be super fun. Make sure you are in attendance. We are going to be going live, and we are going to be doing fantasy football Jeopardy. And our man Minnesota Marty put all the questions and everything together. And so I got a bunch of slides that we're going to be able to use. It's going to be super fun. If anyone in the 420 crew wants to come on live for that, let me know. I'd like to get a couple people on, and I'm going to be hosting, so I won't be participating, but I'm sure we'll get like Bogey, in there. But I'm not sure about any of the other guys, like what they do on Tuesday, if they can make it or not. Let's see. Hey, what up, Devo? What's going down, bro? Oh, nice. He said, "Give me the Seahawks, please. Let's get it. Let's get it." I'll mark you down. I'll mark you down for the Hawks right now. All right. Yeah, this one is going to be a good, this one is going to be a fun box, or a fun box break. A fun box break. That is for sure. Let me update this with Devo's name on it. And Bogey just messaged me. He said, "Of course, my phone died," but he said, "I'll be on soon." There we go. So Bogey will be in the house shortly. All right. And BS at Oklahoma is single-handedly tanking the market like Canada did. Fuck, bro. Like, see, like that's it's tanking the market because of trash for high prices, or tanking the market of trash for low prices. But give me the reason why. Because I know Oklahoma's pretty new in it, but I'm super, super curious about what the fuck they are doing to for tanking the market right now. All right, let me throw this back up. We got. All right, there we go. We got Devo on there now. Yes, sir. Devo on there now. And I got your message, Devo. Locking you in as paid. All right. Let's see. Okay, Zach said no, nothing special, just a regular one, I believe. And even their regular ones are still cool. They got a good tree in there, and isn't it? It's one of the one. Is it one of the ones that has the keef, the live resin, the fire tree, like all of that, right? And Yaku said, "Y'all have no idea. I wanted to be just like Ricky Williams. I played running back, and it said, man, it was so explosive. We both share the love of my girl, Mary. Dude is a great man. It's crazy how many. We both grew up in San Diego, and it's actually like super cool that like we actually have like similar things that we did. I mean, shit, we're like 10 years apart. Like I was barely going into high school when he was like transitioning to the Dolphins almost. I didn't go into high school until 2000. But it's like so funny that like so many things like were similar. And like one of the craziest things still is because Ricky came over to my house one time when he did a reading at my house. And it's funny because like the neighborhood that I lived in was the neighborhood that he went to middle school in. And he was like, man, he was like literally just driving over here. He was like so much nostalgia. He's like, the girl that I lost my virginity to like lives like right over there. Super fucking cool. Fuck, Zach said this fucking sucks. I have to blink 30 times to focus at the words in the chat. Fuck, bro. Damn it, man. And like, what was the surgery for? I mean, I saw in the YouTube pictures, like pretty much like right above your eyeballs, right? Where it was something with your eyes, what they were doing. I don't think you ever told us. I just know you said face surgery. But yeah, man, it looked intense. It looked intense in the picture that you shared on Facebook. They said Oklahoma's just hella open. Oh, land to grow and the weather's nice for it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So all right. So just lowering price, I guess. Let's see. It says very cheap to start illegal cultivation. Oklahoma ends up increasing the supply, which drives down the prices. Similar to Oregon. Okay, for sure. Yeah, because I mean, literally one of like the things in business that never fucking changes, right? The supply versus the supply and demand, and how they how they level out. And yeah, okay, BS trash for low prices. Yep. and it all became this drop the prices nationwide. Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if you guys were on when I was talking about it earlier, but like redwood cultivation here in Vegas, like they're talking to us about some of the dispensaries that they deal with, and like Planet 13, like that's like when you come to Vegas, if you hop in a cab, like it's gonna say Planet 13 on it. Like these motherfuckers spend so much money like on marketing. And they were telling us, they were like, they don't even want to pay $1,500 a pound, and like they bitch about those prices, and then they're selling it for like 75 and eighth. It's just like is insane. I know that like the overheads, you know, of a business like that who spends like that much on advertising, but man, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me because like, what the hell do they want? Like they only want like trash people or trash. You must only want like trash strains, like at that point, or at least people who are figuring out ways to like make it cheaper and cutting on the quality somehow. And BS, and then they also source a lot. Okay, the Delta 8s. Man, I hate the Delta 8s and Delta 9s, and I know it's fucking everywhere now, and it's like the way that it's gotta be because it's like legal. But man, I've always hated that Delta 8. You know, shit, it's fucking ridiculous. Fucking Oklahoma. Zach said my eyelids are stitched up and they cut the bottom of my head in 4 places and pulled the wrinkles in my forehead. Oh, so pretty much a facelift. Okay. All right. So it was what do you call it? It was cosmetic. It was a cosmetic surgery. Did you what do you think? Did it take like 10 years like off your life? Like remember like 10 years off of the way that you look? Remember remember in Back to the Future 2, what's it called? When when they finally get to the future, whatever, Doc starts pulling off his mask and I did all this and did all this and then takes off the mask. What do you think? He looks like exactly the same. Yaku said word of mouth will always be the best and most trustworthy advertisement. Yeah, if you push good stuff and you're good to your people, yeah, they'll trust you. Yeah, and I guess like that's like the best way, and it's like, but that's like the slow and steady, you know, way. And like I guess what sucked, I mean, a lot of these companies, I mean, I guess they can't survive going the slow and steady way, so it ends up figuring out ways to increase the marketing. But usually when you increase marketing budgets, you got to cut corners on like other things, and yeah, it's tough. It's all tough the way that it fucking works. Yeah, it has said Planet 13 did 104 mil in revenue in 2022. I guess that that taxi marketing program works. Oh, I mean, for sure. Like, I mean, yeah, and I think you were the one who said that like when people like if a taxi driver like takes you there like and drops you off, like they get some kind of commission or whatever. Like no idea how the fuck that would work, you know, like how the hell are they even like tracking that? Like maybe they give someone a business card or something and they take it in, but yeah, like that's fucking crazy. I mean, Planet 13 is definitely doing good, like for sure. But I guess what's crazy is like how much of that was actually profits, you know? Like I mean, either way, I'm sure it's very, very nice. But I'm curious, like if they're making like 10 times, you know, off of everything that they're selling, like that's just it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's a good business model, like that's for sure. Yeah, commission for every time they drop someone off. Okay, yeah. Every time they drop someone off. I mean, I'd be pushing that too, right? Like fuck. Anything to get extra money, you're getting paid for the getting paid for the ride already. If we can earn a commission on where we drop you off at, yeah. And BS also, Cali does not have enough CDPH officers to regulate our market. So I'm Oklahoma is has got to be a complete joke for sure. And I guess that's what's crazy when shit is like really just starting off as like, man, distillate equals dis. Zach said, I'm scared to pull off the bandage off my dome. Yeah, I got a few. Oh, shit, got into a few bar fights and nerves, and one eyelid went dead, so I have a problem seeing, especially when I get chopped. Okay. So it wasn't necessarily cosmetic. It was to get your peepers on point. Essay, yeah, there we go. Oh, D9 is liquid diamonds from THC, but they also do it from hemp. Okay. Yeah, what is the difference between Delta 8 and Delta 9? I've never fucked with it. No reason to. All those just like make me like hella nervous. But what's even the difference between Delta 8 and Delta 9? Is it like legit the quality, or is like two different brands? Like, what is it? And Yaku said, "You are the best fantasy guys. You're great to your viewers and offer quality at every turn. You'd be the mom and pop store while while they shall remain nameless. Other fantasy podcasts or Walmart, exactly. And we do want to get to, we want to make some Walmart money, but I guess that's one of the things too. Like we're not gonna stray away from who we are to try to grow faster, because we've been growing by 100%. Every single year, but one of those things, just like being so 420 friendly, like YouTube doesn't push us, like they used to, and so really like word of mouth with the stoners, fantasy football people will come around, but yeah, just putting in word with the stoners, growing our stoner 420 community. Because we got guys like Stranger, who's up in the chat. He was up in the chat earlier. He doesn't play any fantasy football, but he's always here for the sessions. That's what it's all about. And Zach said, now I just want some fucking chunky diamonds in this nice sauce. I know, right? I need to. All right, let's see. Let's see if we got any more of the drip extracts. Let's see if we got any more. BS. We gotta meet up, man. I'm running low on the drip. I may only have like legit one more dab, but how about we do it now in honor of maybe there's a couple more. Maybe there's like 2 or 3. This is the live sauce. I mean, it's pretty much gone. But you could just see how fucking frosty in the color and terpy. Yes, there we go. Stranger's up in right now. Yeah, and it's crazy because even with Stranger specifically, it was he found us on the Damar Hamlin fucking day. Like so many people. Trip, he was someone who found us on the Damar Hamlin, day when. I mean, there just wasn't too many people who were live on YouTube at that moment, and like I was giving everyone like the play-by-play of like, is this dude like alive or dead? And yeah, it sucks that we met under like circumstances like that, but if we didn't live stream all the time, we wouldn't have even had the opportunity to meet guys like that. And BS said that, yeah, they probably made a loss. Okay. Just trying to get sales as high as possible. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? That is what it's all about, having a good product and getting the sales through the roof. And, yeah. All right. Let's get this going over here. And Yaku said, looks yummy, super yummy. And it's BS Barbarians company, Drip Extracts. And they also have Wafers Official. That's their flower brand. But go follow both brands on Instagram. Good content, either way. And I know that they're mostly in California right now, but I know they are going to be expanding, out as some of the laws change and stuff. But so the extracts, it's DRIPP extracts. You can find that. And then the other one is Wafers, WAFERZ Official, Wafers Official. And that's their flower brand. Go follow both. Because, BS Barbarians and Wafers and Drip, they've been a big sponsor of the show ever since we've been around. And like the last event where we were live on location, when we were doing when Hess had had the bungalow at the Cosmo, and we were doing all the live shows, and Ricky was in attendance. BS was and Drip, they were the main sponsor who helped get a bunch of equipment. I had to double the equipment pretty much to be able to, because I'm a one-man show here, but we doubled the equipment, got another mic, got all the other stuff, and yeah, it is BS is the man, and Drip is fucking fire, and Wafers is fucking fire. So if you're in Cali, wherever you are, go follow them. But if you're in Cali, be on the lookout for those brands for sure. And yeah, BS said, man, I got to get you a re-up ASAP because we got to keep the dabs flowing. I've been kind of conserving these dabs, because I don't want to have to. I legit haven't smoked any other type of dabs besides Drip for like maybe the last 6 months. Like I might not dab as much as I used to because man, just sometimes it should be killing you. But yeah, like legit, like yeah, you're the man, BS. And Drip, man, like dab snob again, man. I've always kind of been a weed and a dab snob, and Drip is one of those ones, man. The terpenes got me fucking got me hyped always. All right, let's heat this bad boy up. Dang it, looks like I didn't clean this bucket too well last time. Nice. Going to Barbados today, but when I get back, we'll put it together. Nice, bro. You have fun and be safe out there. Your brother's still in Barbados, right? He was the only one who was wasn't at the live draft. He was doing it via Zoom when we were doing the auction draft. And don't forget, BS, we got to get you guys to host your auction draft at the event in August. Because that would be epic. That would be epic. Oh, man. Yeah, I need to do a better job of cleaning that. Heating up all this, all the extra off of it. All right. But yeah, I cannot wait, man. I'm just throwing it out there again, guys. August is going to be hella legit. It's August 18th, 19th, and 20th. It's the weekend right after a cannabis conference that is going down in Vegas. So this is it's going to be epic. If you guys are going to the expo as well, it's 1 week after that. So the dates don't even conflict. All right, and hey, we got Bogey in the house.
Can you dig it, sucker?
And BS said, "Huss for president." Only if I could smoke weed openly, Last president I was smoking weed got canned for it. Well, amongst other things.
I want to be the House Whip. You know what that is?
No.
He's the guy at the head of the House of Legislators, and he's like a lobbyist. He just will lobby anybody like, oh, Huss, okay, what do we need? Okay, and I'll get everybody's support. You know what I mean? I'm a whip. You feel me? It's probably a poor term, but that's what they call it. But it also, racists did to create America, right? You know what I mean? But they call it the whip because, you know what I'm saying? You come in and basically whip motherfuckers into what you want them to do. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Fuck.
You ain't never seen House of Cards, but that's what he was initially. He was the House Whip.
Okay. Yeah, the show that I like about the presidency is The Oval. You ever heard of that with Tyler Perry? Chip?
I I kind of had this thing where if Tyler Perry made it or is in it, I have nothing to do with it.
It's not like the fat suit stuff. It's no
Yeah, I
Medea.
mean, okay, I get it. Like, Hollywood tries to put a black man, like, oh, you want to be successful here, black guy, wear a fucking woman's thing in a movie or a show, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but he's part owner of BET now, so I mean,
I know now, but I'm saying no. Before he did all that, tell me he didn't. Tell me, okay, before he got this BET network and all this shit, right? Was he not? Was he not doing a jig for these folks?
Yeah,
Like doing a dance, bruh. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, like the what's her name?
well,
What's that grandma's name?
I would say that's not a reason to not support someone after they've already elevated in the world, though.
Nah, listen, I think his shit is trash. That's why I don't support it. Like, you can minus all the politics and the jigs and the dances and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're talking about Medea, sure, because I've never seen one of those Medea movies like ever. He doesn't. He does. I'm sure he does
because, like, you know, Martin Lawrence and Jamie Foxx and all. There's already been this conspiracy theory that they try to make these motherfuckers like you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they all did like some type of female character. I mean, it's a stupid argument, but it's true. You know what I mean? A lot of the, you know. Did Richard Pryor do anything where he had dressed up as female? Probably not, because he always had that mustache.
Right. No, but he's definitely danced a jigger too for the white man. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess
it's almost unfair to use it against when, like, that for some people maybe that is the only way that you could break.
The only way they can get in, huh?
Sucks. I don't know. That's why. I mean, that's why we were talking shit about McAfee, you know, yesterday. Like, him going to ESPN is dancing. Like, it really is.
How many times is there an artist? Like, okay, for all you rap fans out there, or even like rock fans, you know, like, you'll like someone when they're local and they're underground and you fucking love them. They're like, hell yeah, these motherfuckers are the shit, bro. And you want them to get on. Like, I hope they blow up, bro. I love this band, or I love this rapper, or whatever. Woo. Then they blow up, and then, like, and it's all on some commercial shit, and it's watered down. And you're like, man, fuck this shit. I like the old Kanye, or I like the old, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whatever the case may be. And I guess it's just something we can't escape, I guess. You know what I mean? Because once you get someone else to get your hands on your craft, they're gonna fucking, you know, they got whatever corporate or whatever things that the guidelines you have to abide by, like the McAfee show. It's almost like it's there's no way the show's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's going on ESPN now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stranger said it might be a comedian and a movies thing. They did a Robin Williams too, Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, nobody hated on that, you know? Like, I mean, it's hard to, because he did such a good performance. But even my original point with even bringing up the Tyler Perry shit is the show that they have. It's called The Oval. And it's pretty much behind the scenes of the presidency and all that. It's
and they did the black president too?
No, he's a white president, but he has a black wife. And, like, the wife is just, like,
really
crazy as fuck, and, like, he's the show starts with him pretty much beating the shit out of her. Like, something wild is going on. He's, like, beating the shit out of her.
And he's the presidente?
Yeah, he's presidente. Multiple murders have been happening. The president, he sneaks in hookers into the Oval Office, you know, and just like.
How come? See, you should have told me like that. Not like, hey, yo, Tyler Perry. I'm like, that's pretty weak. Medina's gonna pop in like a Secret Service agent.
If you don't know, it's like, no one would think that it's Tyler Perry if all you think of him is for the Medea shit, you know.
So I will give this up to Tyler Perry because, like, you know, the same way Hollywood operates, he does in a small like version of it. Like, he got his own
BET, like he's real close. Like, they're about to sell it to him.
I mean, and then he because you know what it is too. He already has a studio.
Yeah.
You know how, like, Hollywood has sets and stuff like that, or like Warner Brothers will have a set, and, like, you know what I mean, like Universal.
That's why he wasn't, like, signing any deals with anyone or anything like that. He wanted ownership stake, and then I'll exclusively write for whoever I'm whatever brand I'm part owner of or owner of.
I'm wondering if, like, you know what I mean, sucking some dick was, like, worth it for him. You know what I mean? He's like, if I suck a little bit of dick now. Like, down the road.
I mean, shit. How many? I mean, we can go down the road of all these actors. Like, everyone's had to do some.
They all suck a dick or two. It's almost like when the black people got in, like the black stars got into Hollywood, they realized, like, oh shit, this is what the white folks are doing, is sucking each other's dick, bro, to get on. You know what I mean? Letting each other fuck each other in the ass to get on, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You start figuring out like, Tinseltown's fucking. This is not what I signed up for, bro.
it is fucked up. I was watching The Sopranos, and I forget who the hell the actor's name was. He was a well-known actor, and they were. It was a
Which
negotiation.
character? Do you know?
He's not a regular on there, but he was like a gangster rapper, and he owns like a recording label and all that shit. And they're trying to get past royalties for a black artist who this other company pretty much fucked over on royalties. You know?
Yeah, own their masters, own their royalties, their rights, all the shit.
Yeah, and then he starts talking. He was like, you know what? I forget who he said, but it was some big Hollywood conglomerate. He was like, I've been told that black people are owed reparations in Hollywood for the way that black people have been portrayed on screen Hollywood for dozens and dozens and dozens of years. And then, but they're talking to the Italians, you know, so that's where it all kind of fell on deaf ears. Like, you know, before you guys were around, we were the moolies, you know, for all the white people and all that.
Yeah.
Like, so that argument didn't go too far with them, but that shit's true though. It is true.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, you know, you could have a Jewish person and a black person arguing the same shit because, you know what I mean, there was the Holocaust and then there was 400 years of slavery. You know what I mean? And it's like that shit creates ancestral PTSD. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're hundreds plus years removed from slavery, but yo, that PTSD is still okay. Look at here's something. I don't know if people will necessarily agree with this, but this is something that I found to be interesting. That, like, you know, this is proof of ancestry. Things are ancestral. It's passed through our genetics. Certain things that traumatize us. Like, for example, if we are all on the block, bruh, you know what I'm saying? We strapped up, all this shit, man. We're on the block, we're posted. If somebody else roll up, another block or another gang or whatever, bro, we're shooting it out, man. But you have that same group of individuals that chilling out on the block deep, and one cop roll up, and he pop out, man, shit, full flashing lights. Everybody's running, bro.
Yeah,
everybody's running. It's ancestral when motherfuckers was running from the slaves and slave owners and shit. You know what I mean?
I have crazy PSD. Anytime I hear like a cop siren or, you know, anything like that, like, man, like that doesn't even matter if it's for me or any, especially now when I'm not doing, you know, I'm not even doing anything that can get me in trouble. But
you just walking through the post office, you hear a police siren, you see the janitor, you just knocking down their mouth. Like you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, see, look at this BS. And I like the old Ice Cube. Yeah, for sure. See, like, I mean, how long did Ice Cube go before he started getting super, super, super commercial, do you think?
It was like I think the last like real like Ice Cube album I would consider was like the one in like the Players Club era. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that was like the last time, like, you know, he's putting out music with they had the WC, the West Side Connection.
Yeah.
WSC or whatever.
That's kind of when it stopped, right? Like after
because
that.
then he was full. Like when like Friday Part 2 came out, and bro, he was out here. Like I feel like Friday Part 2 was the one that put him over because then he entered the 2000s just doing like blockbuster bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his song wasn't his song the main song. You could do it, put your ass into it.
Yeah,
during the opening credits and shit.
Yeah. That's just hard.
Has said 100% bogey. I got a book about that called "It Didn't Start With You." It's all about generational trauma and shit.
See, bro, shout out to my man Hess, the cannabis guardian angel himself, man. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, the Israels, bro. It's crazy because they have a whole entire literatures, bro. Like the Bible, basically. Just, you know what I mean? Like they were the most persecuted. You know what I'm saying? Until recent, like if you think about it, the Israelites. They weren't as big as the Africans, bro. The Africans, they had whole entire kingdoms and whole entire, you know what I mean, rich history. And then them folks came in there and just started colonizing and ruining shit, bro. But we're all I mean, Hess will attest to this too. We all can find our roots back to the 9 West African tribes, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? We all in a way have that same argument to make. It's ancestral wise, you know what I mean? Like, we all came from the same spot. It's only not even a million years of this iteration of humans. You know what I'm saying? In the larger scheme of things, like, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Dennis said, "Love that Goonies shirt, Bogey." And Goonies is a classic movie,
right?
Fucking, it was funny, chaotic. She was asking. She was asking, "You guys have one on the Goonies yet?"
You know what's funny is, like, I felt like if you have a T-shirt of something, right? It's worth enough that you loved it enough to buy a T-shirt of it. You know what I mean? It was one of those, I was like, oh man, I got the cup. I saw it like in the store as we were walking by, type of shit. I gotta get that Goonies shirt right
Target
here.
or Ross or some shit, right?
Well, I think this was like an Old Navy even.
Okay.
I got all the places, like, because Old Navy be having like graphic tees and shit, and we always go there buy cheap shit for the kids and whatnot, like, you know, like bathing suits, like little summer wear, you know what I mean? You always find some cheap shit, and that's why I saw this shirt. I was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, Target's another one of those ones, bro.
Who's your favorite Goonies character?
It's gotta be the little Asian boy, bro. He's a shit. And him and Sloth, or what was his name? Hey, you guys. He's the shit, baby. Actually, I like the fat kid too. The fat kid was hard, man.
Yeah.
The
he was the gangster out of everybody, right?
What? No. Even though he was crying, ready to snitch and shit, you know what I mean? He still held it down.
To put his hand in a blender. That
come on, hold it down for the gang, bro.
And the worst thing I ever done. This was
like, oh my god, this kid's terrible.
Well, no, it was funny. Remember, the one kid was like, I don't know, Ma, I'm starting to like this kid.
Right, because he was feeling for the kid now.
Yeah, well, because he was doing fucked up shit. Like, I mean, went to the fucking movie theaters and threw fake puke over the balcony, and everyone started getting sick and throwing up on each other.
Oh shit!
Definitely for me, it was Corey Feldman, Mouth. He just he loved to talk shit, man, and he was the jokester too.
Yeah. What was it, Rudy? That was Rudy's ass, huh? The other kid.
The main kid was Rudy. Yeah,
was Rudy. Yeah, a little bitch.
And whatever his name is from Lord of the Rings.
See this right here? This is my wish. Taking it back.
No,
out of here.
That was Mouth. That was Corey Feldman.
Oh, that was Mouth. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, "No, I'm taking this back, and I'm taking them all back." He thought that
it's kind of funny how they thought that was a treasure at first. They're like, "Oh shit, like it's a treasure, man."
Yeah,
well, we got like $300 of quarters here.
I know, man. Like, it would have been so heavy carrying all that shit back. They needed those gold doubloons, not the fucking pennies and quarters and nickels. Hess, I literally had a convo yesterday with my Uber driver. He's descendant from, what did I say that? Amhara tribe in Ethiopia. Okay.
Oh, word.
And Hess said, I told him, I bet we are long lost cousins. I like it.
Right. And it's like we all came from the motherland, you know what I mean? I mean, shit, even like if you think about like even further back when it was Pangea, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, make you imagine that? Like our continent shift the other way is like maybe like a centimeter or some bullshit a year. So however long it took to separate from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, on the larger scheme of things, bro, we're just a blip in time. And time really only exists, like an Earth time even, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The space-time continuum.
Yeah, I mean, like, we measure time on our trips around the sun and how you know, how many 24 hours that we spend on its own axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, in the universe, like you know, what if, like, you know, we're talking about inhabiting Mars, right? Bro, yeah. Mars day, like, how much is a Mars day around the sun? Like 48 hours, 2 days, or some bullshit?
I don't even know. Yeah. And look at Stranger said,
guys, see you tomorrow.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Stranger said John Maduzak was great in the Goonies. So he was Sloth, and he was, I'm pretty sure he was the first rounder in the NFL.
Cool.
For the Raiders. Let me go double check, because I know I did research on this.
They used to put an eye patch on him too, huh? They're like, let's go ahead and cover that up right there. You play for the Raiders. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, man. He would not only was he drafted by the Raiders, not only was he a first rounder, he was the 101.
Whoa! Did he win a Super Bowl with them?
Let's see.
They won. They won a couple
He is a
times.
two-time Super Bowl champion with the Raiders.
Hey, you guys! That motherfucker. What? What did he play?
Defensive end, because he's
Okay.
fucking.
Hey, bro. Hey. Hey, you don't want to see the sloth coming at you, bro.
His height and weight, his playing height and weight, 6'8", 272. Defensive end.
You know,
Get up, kid up.
you know, it makes me not want to wear this shirt anymore. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
You don't even have sloth on there.
I just say, he's part of the crew, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of taints it for me now, bro. I wish you didn't tell me that. Now I'm Corey in that wishing well. I'm talking about, see this, taking it back.
Oh man, that shit was a classic movie. That shit was always on TV. I just remember always catching it on TV.
Yeah. And man, I hate it when you watch it on TV and they're showing the commercials like every 12 minutes. Like, what the fuck, dude? They just got to the thing. Like, what was Homegirl? Did she grow up to do anything else?
Let's see. I mean, Sean Astin was. Him and Corey Feldman definitely the most.
Yeah, they blew up.
Most prominent. Let's see. So the one whose name is Andy, like the main girl.
Yeah.
The one that Bram liked. Her picture is a black and white picture of her still from like back then. So I don't know if
so that's her claim to fame right now.
Yeah, probably.
I bet you when you go trick or treating and you just so happen to knock on her door, she always say, "Hey, you know who I am?"
Yeah,
trick or treat, goddammit.
It looked like she only did a couple things after 2000. Mostly everything was before 90. Oh, but don't forget about Data. Remember, he just won that the Academy Oscar, right, for Best Supporting Actor, I believe.
Yeah, shout out to look at that, bro. See, now proud to wear the shirt again.
It was crazy though. So I listened to the Boy Meets World podcast. It's so funny hearing them like go back and talk about some of the shit. And they're talking about him specifically. And they're like, one thing that they kind of don't like is how a lot of actors who like aren't acting are like, oh man, I was gone for so long and I was in a dark place, but now I'm back acting and everything's good again.
I don't know. You know what that's
You're
called?
gonna be in trouble when the acting runs out.
You know what they're doing right there, right? Acting like they enjoyed their life. Yeah.
What? BS said he's never seen this movie. I mean, it's probably different. It's definitely different watching it for the first time as an adult and as a kid.
He was in Barbados, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where they had real pirates. You know what I'm saying? He was like, listen, man, I was the Goonies for real, bro. You know what I mean?
We're on the lookout for One-Eyed Willie's treasure like every weekend.
Bruh, they said it had crashed it right off the shores of Barbados. Hey, I don't know. In my mind, I just picture Barbados like every female looked like Rihanna, and I'm just like, I'm never leaving Barbados, y'all. What happened to Bogey? Went to Barbados.
Derek, I guess you weren't in here at the beginning. So one of my light on this side, it fucking blew out. And so now I only got one light on this side, and there's a light above me. But yeah, that's why like half of my face.
I like it. It adds it adds mystery. You know what I mean?
Okay, BS said the Little Rascals was his shit. Said he had the VHS. Nice.
Hey, the Little Rascals went crazy, bruh. Because it would always amaze me, like, man, where are these parents at, bruh? They got these kids that's out there. They just got transportation and everything. They got a go-kart. They're just out there in the middle of like some like wooded area, and they got a crib. You feel me?
It's just like Dennis the Menace, right? His fucking kids are 5 years old, but they're out there in the middle of the woods and shit.
And there's a fucking tree house out there and shit. I'm going to the tree house, Mom. Okay, be home before supper. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we had the homie growing up in the hood with us. His name was White Boy Ryan, because we had Ryan, and there was White Boy Ryan, right? And white boy, right? We used to love going like, hey, let's go to your house for supper, bro. Because his mom was like, oh, you guys want to eat? We're like, fuck yeah. And it'd always be weird because like growing up, it was like a culture shock for me. Because they were eating rice, bro. I was like, what? They're eating jasmine rice. You know what I mean? But they were like, you know, they're doing white folks, you're having a pot roast or whatever. And they were eating with rice. I was like, oh, put that on, bro. We cousins, bro. I thought white people ate like stovetop stuff in this shit. Like, I thought they had a pot roast, man. I was like, wait a second. We make pot roast like we think we're white folks or something. Then it's like it's one of those realizations, like, oh shit, we make white food at home, but we eat it with rice. You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah. BS. He wished his mom was like that, and SA loved the Little Rascals. I mean, it's classic. Dennis said, "Do a Little Rascals slow draft." We can have that one.
Ooh,
so
dibs
right
on alfalfa. Alfalfa was knocking him down, bro. Come on. The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
He bitch man horrors of America.
Where was that from? Was that from Jamie Foxx?
No, Deuce Bigelow.
That's where that was from. Okay.
Eddie Griffin.
Yeah.
You shut up, you he bitch.
Eddie Griffin's whole thing's like, when I first met my dad, you know, I was probably about 15. I came in the house. I was mad as fuck. I looked at him. Okay. See, that's where he got that rabbit ass teeth from. You know, this motherfucker is my dad. Stop looking at that motherfucker's face. Like, God damn it, that's my dad.
Oh man! All right, so let's see. So I added that one. We added the Little Rascals slow division. So here goes the ones that we got going right now. So we got the slow draft, The Wire. We got a slow draft for Weeds. We got a fast draft for Dogma, and we got a slow draft for Little Rascals. And all of those ones, that is up to that would be up to Division 35.
Hey, the Little Rascals was kind of ahead of his time, huh? Because like, did they have a Hispanic kid too?
I think so.
They had a Jewish kid, they had the Italian kid, they had the black kid, they had, you know what I mean? They was like kind of ahead of his time and shit. It's probably good to show that back then. Like, look, the kids can get along. You know what I mean? Right? Like, yo.
All right, BS said I need in The Wire, and the Little Rascals said Weeds was trash. Hey, take it easy on Weeds, man. Take it easy on
I remember when I used to watch Weeds, I used to be like, man, this is so unrealistic. How is this white broad doing it? I'm like, and then when she started fucking the cartel dude, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Power of pussy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What did Dave Chappelle? He said it best. He was like, I never understood what women go through. And he's like, but then I was young and I was coming up, and there was some gangster homies of mine, and they used to love to clean their money by paying me, and it's like almost like they felt like they were doing or giving back to the community, and they would book me. And he said they gave me $25,000. I did a show, and he said I had the money in my backpack and I was leaving, and I said, and I'm walking through Brooklyn or whatever the fuck he said he's walking through. And he's like, if anyone knew I had this money on me, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And he said, that's probably what having a pussy feels like. You know what I mean? You have a pussy all the time. You have motherfuckers like, I want to take what that pussy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yes, that show should have been called Giving Away Your Pussy to Save Yourself. Is that not how a lot of the world works, though?
I mean, I probably would have tuned in if that was the name of the show. I ain't gonna lie. Right? So, hold on, babe. Make sure you're recording Giving Away Pussy and get what you want from me. Yeah, I got it on my DVR. Bro, you see that new episode of Giving Away the Pussy? Bro, she gave it away, bro, and got the bag. I mean, remember the Bunny Ranch? Didn't they have their own shit?
Didn't they?
Yeah, motherfuckers was tuning into that.
They did have a reality show for a while, huh? Was it one of the Cinemax or HBO late night ones?
It was one of those ones because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were just showing, like, because there was so many stigmas. Like, when you go to those spots, like, those girls, they're, like, tested round the clock. Like, every 3 days, they're tested. You know what I mean? I would hope, right? Well, I'm pretty sure on the menu
that's what they say. I mean, I don't.
There's a raw. I'm pretty sure there's a raw package on the menu. You know what? Let me get the number 59 raw. Make it a double.
It would definitely be the 60. Come on.
Let me get the 69. Dude. Listen, bro, I'm not gonna say any names. All right, he's my uncle, okay? We were at the ranch, bro, and we were faded as fuck, and you just hear a whole commotion. Like we're in like the little like what's that called? Like it's not quite a lobby area, but it's like a kick it room area. And then you know what I'm saying, you just hear this motherfucker screaming and shit. A female, and she's coming down, she's livid, and here comes my uncle, he's laughing. I'm like, what happened, huh? I paid the bust in her face. She didn't like that. He said that's what he was there to pay for.
69, dudes.
He's a dirty uncle of mine. But I'm saying, I think that always dawned on me. I was like, oh man, okay, I guess there's a menu for shit.
I mean, yeah.
You know, listen, I'm not going to front. Like, you know what I'm saying? We went there for the experience and like, because it's like a whole experience, not just like, oh, people go there to bang and shit, you know what I mean? Like, and it sucks because we went there and what's his name? Had just left, bro, Dennis. Because like, that was like, I wanted to meet him, take a picture with him holding his pimp cup, you know what I mean? That would have been tight. You know, like, that's the main I never knew that place existed. Like, I heard of that place, like, you know what I mean? Like, is
that the guy who was in American Pimp?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of the other pimps don't like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's fully legal and can advertise and all that shit.
Yeah. And then like,
but he's in like fucking nowhere, right? Like where actually? I know it's in Nevada, but isn't it like
Carson? I think it's Carson City, if I remember correctly.
But it's like out in the boonies or something.
It's out in the boonies, right? Yeah. Like outside.
It's not like a block down the street.
There's not a McDonald's next to it. You know what I mean? They ain't gentrifying next to the bunny ranch. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's legal over there. So, but I guess under those parameters that they get tested, you know, periodically or regularly, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would assume everything that we think should be involved for a legal whorehouse would be involved.
I wonder if they don't. I wonder if that's like not politically correct these days.
I don't know.
You know, whores' lives matter. Is that whores? You know what I'm saying? That's the oldest profession in the book, bro. From the dawn of man, they were selling ass, bro.
For sure, selling numbers and selling ass are the two first things getting sold. Yeah, remember it was in Harold and Kumar is the second one. I know a lot of people might not like the second one that much, but man, that shit was funny when they meet up with what's his name with Doogie Howser again
at the whorehouse.
And then he's like, yeah, come on guys, we're going to a whorehouse. Come on, let's pick up some trim.
I love that he's gay in real life too, because it just made it that much more funnier. You know what I mean?
So you know what's funny in the third one? He's like now it's all came out about him being gay, right? So like in real life, and so he's doing this big like Broadway like play, you know, totally.
Of course he is.
Yeah, doing a big Broadway play, you know, everything about him totally looking flame, you know, and but then like he's going back to the dressing room, and then like right as they're like going in, like his boyfriend's there or whatever, and they're kissing as they go in, like to take pictures for the camera. And then when he goes in, he's like, oh man, come on, man. I told you about using the tongue or whatever. And like, so it's like, it's all an act. And the guy who's his boyfriend is like his drug dealer.
Oh shit. That's how they do instead of the hand to hand, he has a spitter in his mouth. Spit it in your mouth.
And then he tells all the girls to come back to his dressing room, you know, but he's still doing the gay thing, you know, and then he's like, oh, but let me give you a massage, and then like pulls off her bra and like shit like that. He's like, we're just girlfriends, and then
he's a sleazy. Oh, he's a greasy, because you know that's like sacred. Like a gay dude could be in there, all women's butt naked is nothing.
Yeah, and then pretty much like he starts like he's like don't fucking move and like totally changes and it's like there's about to be some
Totally
lotion.
me too, is it?
About to be some lotion on your back.
Nasty.
But yeah, so that was he's just ridiculous in all three movies. He totally is.
Never trust a man named Dewey.
Yeah, in the first one when he's like, let's go to the strip club. The the Dewey line always works. But Game in the chat. He says, I have the 102 pick in my rookie draft. Who should I choose? He says Gunna or JSN. I'm assuming was that supposed to be Gibbs or JSN?
I'll probably take JSN, bro. Last ability, I'd always lean towards the receiver. I mean, Tyler Lockett's not going to be there for fucking ever. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure JSN is going to walk into like a semi role. Like he could probably have some low end WR2, high end WR3.
He did say Gibbs. Yeah, I feel like Gibbs is more of the win now player, and JSN. I mean, he's the better dynasty player, for sure. I mean, a guy like him is. I mean, he's assuming health. He should last a lot longer than a guy like Gibbs. That's probably who I'm going with JSN if I'm taking just best player available. If I'm really trying to win now, I might take Gibbs. So it's going to be a little bit team specific. So I currently have the 102, 106, 109, and 112.
102, 106, 109, 112. So like at the 106, I'm hoping for like Quentin Johnston. If not, I feel like Zay Flowers could be there for you. And I'm taking either of those, and it's to each his own. I think I like Quentin Johnston for the long run, and I think Zay Flowers like this year with OBJ will just be. I don't think OBJ is not going to be considered the one as far as how defensive coordinators plan. So I do like Zay Flowers to be like that Z receiver that just catches a bunch of big bombs this year. It's going to be frustrating, but like I'm just saying, I think it won't be as frustrating as Quentin Johnston year one. You know what I mean? Trying to work his way through with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. But then there's history, right? On our side. That Keenan Allen and Mike Williams could not play a full season. You know what I mean? And we might get Quentin Johnston, right out the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we see I know that people are going to be going crazy. I've seen the social media clips. Like, have you seen some of it's just OTAs, but I mean, he's making these crazy leaping one-handed catches.
Actually, now that I think about it, to get one of those two guys at the 6, he needs somebody to pull up. Like, he needs somebody to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm assuming it's a single QB league or
yeah,
for sure, guys.
And okay, listen, at what's his third pick? 109.
Yeah, 102, 106, 109, 112. So he's got all three picks apart pretty much.
I'll try to take my 102 and my 106, see if I can get that 101. Get me beat down. Maybe the 109 and the 102. See if I can buy the 101.
Maybe. That would be cool.
Right? Because, man, now that I think about it, it's like, damn, bro, you might have to pull up like an A-chain or something, like, you know what I mean? Or otherwise, or like a Kincaid, like, you know what I mean? Like, those guys will be there for sure at 6. But like at 9, it's like, you know what I mean? You might want to hope A-chain or Kincaid's there for you at 9, and you can get Quentin Johnston and or Zay Flowers at 6.
Dennis said, you ever think about doing NFL best ball divisions? Everyone could pick their favorite team. Well, I guess it depends on I guess it just depends on like how would we do that? Because like there's 12 teams.
It would be like this. It'd be like this, the NFC West division. So it'd be like, you just find avid fans of those teams. Hey, you want to join? Oh, you're a Cardinals fan? Hey, join this division.
But there'd be 12 teams in the fantasy though, and there's only 4 teams in the AFC, whatever you said, the whatever West.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe if you just do like hey, all you Niner fans, this is the Niner division. You know what I mean? Then you could have 32 of those, right?
And then you can pick your favorite players from the Niners franchise.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll be in that motherfucker. I'm Joe Montana. I'll be Jerry Rice.
It might be a little bit harder to start, for some of these franchises, though. There would be some where people would be knocking down the door to get in on it, but then we have some of these ones Like
So,
who else?
so you're saying we got to start with the Cowboys division?
Who else is going to be in the Texans division besides Peacock? You know.
I'm just saying. I mean, we don't need to make a Texans one. That's where we have. Hey, here's our AFC South division.
Hess said he gave her the Watson special.
It was right there. It was right there in front of us. I don't know why we didn't.
And that was a little bit ago, so everyone make sure you're caught up live with us.
You know what I'm saying? That's funny.
And Ricky should be in about 10-ish minutes. I mean, he's a wizard, you know, so he might not show
I
up
also want to say,
somewhere around there.
real quick, I want to shout out my baby girl, Mimi. She's 2 years old today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much, bro. She makes me so proud because she's been throwing terrible tantrums for like the last 6 months. I'm like she's ahead of her time.
She's an innovator.
Right? Now, so now, I got all kind of different fat nicknames for her. Now she's too fat. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you heard of too short? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And she is so funny, bro, because like, I don't know. When I hear music, bro, I can't help it. Just the funky bone just starts going, bro. And she got that shit, bro. It's hella hard. Big ass head throwing her off balance and shit. I'm like, bro, she gets hypey, bro.
Oh man, is it like what Eddie Murphy was talking about? He was like, we go to the club, we see you do that one dance. He's like, can't start mixing in double moves, a little head nod or something, like, running into each other and shit.
You know what I'm saying? That was the funniest shit during the hyphy era, because then it would be like, you would see like groups of dudes getting down together. Not on no gay shit neither, just like gigging hella hard.
Yeah.
And there's a whole crowd of dudes, bro. Just surfing and shit. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't get in that mix, bro. You get hurt if you get in there and shit.
I know, because it's almost, I mean, it's not a mosh pit, but it's like a different version of it, right? Because like, man, you get in the wrong spot, like,
yeah. I mean, you'll take a dread to the eye, bro.
Yeah, whipping those dreads around.
Maybe just whipping those dreads. They got the beads on them and shit, bro. Oh, what? You get a lash, man. Watch out when hyphy goes wrong.
Derek said, shout out to Mimi for her birthday.
Yeah.
Zach said, happy birthday to Bogey's little one. He said, my kid turned 12 yesterday. Gemini.
Hey, happy birthday. You know what I mean? Nice. You know what's dope is Mimi grew up on these shows, for real. You know what I mean? Like, before, I used to never, like, I was one of them motherfuckers, like, they're gonna see this area and you'll never know where I'm at, right? I don't want to show them my house and inside. And I started thinking, like, man, that people love us, man. And we ain't showing nothing inside anyway, but they want to see my dirty house. You know what I mean? And then, because, I just had Mimi, you know what I mean? And I was like, so I started doing the show from the crate inside and shit, just so I, you know what I mean? I could do both things. And then, like, it became like a thing, right? Like,
nothing puts her to sleep better. Nothing puts her to sleep better than some fantasy football talk.
It was like, it was her nap time. It worked every time. There was a little time there too when my son was like, turning 3, and then when he was 3, like, it'd be like I'm holding both of those motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And boom, like, I couldn't wait for the show. Put them both to sleep, bro. You know what I mean? Then grab that monitor and go burn and shit. You feel me? Like,
yes, and happy birthday, Mimi.
Hey, thank you, everybody. You know what I mean? There's nothing more awesome than watching the little tykes grow up, bro. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what's not more awesome, though, when they start getting crazy attitudes when they're 6, like Noble.
I mean,
like,
bro,
you're going to give me this? And he was like, oh, you want me to slap you? I was like, what?
Oh,
we're not tight.
I'm always threatening them, bro. What did you say? I'll put this foot right in your fart factory right now. And then they laugh. Oh, this gets funny. I ain't trying to be funny. He said fart factory. No, motherfucker. I'm threatening your life right now.
And see, and I think that's what it was. That's just what it was. You go back to years and years where it was like that. That's how you establish the alpha. right? I mean, I guess it's always the same. And these kids really like these
Here he
days.
is. He's trying. Hey, he's drawing the line on you, bro. He's like, listen, cross that line, bro. Come at me, bro.
He tries to use too much logic now. Like that's ridiculous.
He's like the dude from he's like Batista from the Guardians of the Galaxy, where everything's literal. Where you're like, bro, like don't like you letting it get over your head. What? Nothing gets over my head. I'm 6'5". Like, no, bro. Like a figure of speech. But that's his character, though. He's enabled to recognize sarcasm or like and not take everything literally. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's hella funny in there.
Dennis said, dude, my youngest daughter's 3 and she has a major attitude. Man.
See, the craziest is that Mimi, she's like scattered words here and there. So like she does everything like physically, like, you know, the remote. Like she wants like there's an ad all of a sudden that pops up on the YouTube and shit. She just grabs the remote and chucks it at me, bro. And I swear, I always gotta be looking at the phone like this and watching it like that. Cause like the moment I'm on it, just in the trade or something like that, or just looking at sleepers, she's wrecking shop. It's almost like she had, and my girl, I'll be like I heard them scream yesterday, maybe she had knocked the chair down. And whatever happened, I was washing the dishes, like, you can't turn your back on her. You know what I mean? She sees it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yo, this kid's crazy, man.
Yeah, see, now it's even getting more wild with Noble because now he's taking karate. So now,
oh
you
shit,
want me
practicing.
to kick you? Want me to kick you?
Oh shit, that's where you gotta fuck him up, bro. You gotta fuck him up and be like, listen, it's all about discipline, bro.
Don't make me sweep the leg.
Yeah, right? you better get disciplined before I sweep your ass. Put some discipline right in your ass, bro. Pause. It's all. I mean, listen, we don't fuck our kids up, but they best believe they'll fuck us up.
That's why. Well, that's why. Like that. That's why he's like shit like that. He thinks that he's the bad one.
Like, dude, my lip has been busted for like 2 weeks, barely healing. Because like this is a couple weeks ago, my lips was just regular chapped, right? And then like I'm laying on the bed and Mimi's like she's like sitting up, and I'm trying to make her lay down, and she's like, oh, like trying to resist it, and then she just does one of these, throws her head all the way back, in the back of the head, right to the mouth. Boom! Oh, it was hot, bro. Oh, looked like someone fucked me up.
Damn.
And someone did, bro. Who fucked you up, bro? Mimi.
That's the worst. That head throwing back because
yeah, bro.
I've gotten.
I had my hands like this too, so I just took it full facial.
Yeah,
busted my shit.
Because there's been times where Noble's done that on the couch, throwing himself back like that, but doesn't hit the middle of the couch. Hits like the armrest or like
he's
unforgiving.
You take a bad bump.
Yeah. gotta tuck the neck, bro. Gotta tuck.
That's it. Hey, Razor Ramon's a dick. He would tell him, be sure to tuck the chin. That's how you knew he was gonna give you a bad bump.
Yeah. Ooh. I mean, shit. It's like, especially like back then, right? When they said before Vince McMahon started wrestling, right? They said those mats were. I mean, it's not concrete, but they said it's pretty much a trampoline now compared to like what it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, look at the WCW ones, man. It was just basically like some fucking sheetrock.
It was just like hitting that and just like bouncing like off of it, like ugh.
Right? People, those mats are soft, bro. No, they're not, right? You know when you're young, there's two people that like wrestling and other people that say, man, that shit is fake as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And it'd be like hating and shit, man. Shut up. Hating on that shit. I used to be mad. See, I'll tell you this much though. I was never a fan of Power Rangers like that, bro. Because that was one of those ones where you're a kid.
I think the first.
You said you like Power Rangers, bro. There'd be like a gang of kids like, bro, you're a hella gang. I'm just saying, like, that's how it was in the 90s. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? We didn't mean they were actually like sexual preference way. We're just, you know what I mean? It was the 90s.
Yep. Yeah, all those goofy ass shows. I can't believe how long they're fucking going for. And it's funny, like, man, it was at the what the hell was I at? The Vegas Comic Con. And they had fucking the Black Ranger was still there, like doing fucking cameos and all that shit.
Ugh.
I almost wanted to get him to do because he would do like shout outs and stuff. I mean, you got to pay for it, obviously, but man, that would have been dope if he was like, "Yeah, this is the
I
Black
would have been like this. All right, I would have been like this. Do like this for me. Are you ready? Ready? Smurfing time. Okay. Oh, you didn't get that one? You didn't get it? Okay, ready? Do it again. Smurfing time. No. Record it. All right, you ready? He's hella annoyed by the third time. He's like, all right, let's do it. Did you get it? All right. Michelle, brother. Power Ranger gang.
It's fucking
I
wild.
would have asked him the real question. I would have been like, did you ask to be the Black Ranger? Or did they say you are the Black Ranger? Because, I can get it. You want to be the Black Ranger. But then they're like, all right, Asian, you're the Yellow Ranger. You know what I mean?
Why couldn't, why? That's it. Why?
And then I think they realized the error of their ways when they changed the cast up and they made the Black Ranger an Asian dude and they made the Yellow Ranger a black girl. Now they're innovative. You know what I mean? Now changing the game up. That would have asked him too. I would have said, hey, how'd you feel about the dude taking your job, bro? You know what I mean? I'm just saying though. You gotta ask the tough questions.
Thanks, Derek. I'll let Street Soldiers know.
He on that thing?
Yeah, in the 21.
I'm so ready to go to work.
Michael said you guys remember Captain Planet. Yeah, that was what was it? What were
Captain Planet, he's our hero. He's gonna take pollution down to zero.
What were the elements? It was Earth, Fire,
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Come on, like the
no, but wasn't there was 5 of them, right? Earth. It was Earth, Wind, Fire, Water. Oh, and Heart. That was the last one.
Yeah, I said love.
The Asian dude, miles and miles of heart, right?
And then for some reason they became like a weird silver dude with green hair. They're like, you've heard of Ultron. These kids, they form together and become the Sky Captain Planet.
Saves the universe from pollution.
Bray, you had it right, bro. Hey, you remember my cousin Francis, the one that he always would come around? When I lived back home? Yeah, and he's one of those like he's a literal scientist. Like that was like his major, and like he works in like political science now, like like figuring out like homeless problems, and you know what I mean? Yeah, like that's what he does for a living. Like we'll be walking around. And me, I'm smoking everywhere the fuck I'm at. I don't give a fuck. Especially when I'm out with the kids. And, they call me Skimpy Joint Bogey for a reason because I just got a gang of skimpy ass pre-rolls just, just facing it. Like, because I don't smoke cigarettes. So it's like anymore, at least. So that's, it's like.
And you get done with them quick wherever you're at. You just, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, I'll just throw that shit. And then, like, I saw my cousin, he went and picked it up. And he threw it away somewhere properly. I was like, yeah, my bad, Captain Planet. He's like, I always pick up your roaches when you throw them. You just don't know. Yeah, make me feel like shit. It's a fucking piece of cardboard, bro. It's a crutch.
Nick said,
it's in his personality. Like, listen, bro. I'm like, damn. I mean, he was a vegan for like 8 years too. So that also, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I brought him back to the dark, I used to tell him, bro, I was like, you ain't a vegan. Like, what do you mean? You still eat pussy, bro? He's like, touche. Motherfuckers is not eating meat. Get the fuck out of here.
Bank said, reading Rainbow and Mr.
Lamar?
Reading Rainbow and Mr. Rogers are nostalgic for me, he says.
Take a look. It's in a book. It's Reading Rainbow. Bro, that song slaps. Play that shit, man. That shit's hard, man. Wasn't that shit trending like a couple years ago?
Probably.
Well, it was like a filter. Like it would be the song, and it'd be like you know what I mean? Like the yeah. It was like the 80s reading Rainbow, like fucking intro shit. You know what I mean? But you put yourself in it. Hard, bro. Hey, he was hard, bro. Bro, I want stunners just like LeVar and goddamn Star Trek, bro. That's just hard, bro. Imagine that, but it's iced out.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look.
Bank said, when are you going to get the sample from Reading Rainbow and flip it?
Oh, bro, we about to do that right now. I can go twice as high. That's the part right there.
Make it a weed song somehow.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm reading song about reading a book.
Hell yeah, we could get twice as high. Oh man, that is classic stuff right there. Fucking classics. Derek said Star Trek boy. He was a Star Trek guy. He was a Trekkie.
My house is starting to look like a house, B. Those goddamn boxes out this motherfucker.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, flip the Reading Rainbow into a weed song. That'd be fucking fire.
Hey, tell me that little riff goes crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. A butterfly in the sky. That's how it would go.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.
We getting hella high on that one. Bro, I swear, and we'll have the fucking Star Trek stunners on. Fucking the LeVars.
Yeah.
Iced out though. Right?
Yeah, I mean that was him, right? Didn't he have the flat top in there?
Yeah. he was lined up and everything, bro. He was I think he was supposed to be a robot. That would have been sick if they had him doing the robot every time he moved.
It's funny that Star Trek is such a rite of passage for so many actors. You remember that The Rock was on there? He did that one episode.
Nah, I didn't even know that, bro. Put that on.
I swear he gave someone the rock bottom in that shit too.
Wait, hold on. But he was already The Rock?
Well, it was like, yeah, he was already because he didn't do acting until after WWF. Let me see if I can find it.
Hey, do you know the history of, because I wanted to touch on what's his name? Pause. Mr. Rogers. Do you know about him? So like, he's a decorated war vet, and I think it's the Vietnam War. But and he was like a sniper, bruh. It might not be the Vietnam War. Someone could probably fact check me. But part of he was like a highly decorated. Sick. They were on this
from that, and let's get back to it. Bogey, you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah, man. We are proud to welcome back, making his triumphant return, your Heisman's favorite Heisman. I said that wrong. Your favorite Heisman's favorite Heisman. Our man, Ricky. Yeah.
Dang soundboard. Come on, there we go. Hey, what up, Ricky?
What up?
Top of the morning.
Yes, top of the morning.
We were taking
Friday
out there in grassland, or I don't want to say specifically where, but how you liking it?
I love Grass Valley. It really is the Grass Valley. You know,
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not far from you these days. I'm enjoying the valley myself. I'm out here in EG.
I was. It's funny. I was at a dispensary last week, and there was a guy who has a cannabis brand who was handing out samples, and he looked at me. He's like, "Are you Ricky Williams?" I was like, "Yeah." And it was like a TV show. Like everyone in the dispensary looked. He started taking pictures and stuff. Well, the guy, he's like, I live in Grass Valley too. And he said, we have our grow right down the street. He's like, you don't need to go to dispensaries. He said, we'll take care of you. So later today, I'm going by his spot down the road and getting a hookup. So
nice. I know. I still want to connect you with Ellis Greens out here too. That's another nice up and coming cannabis brand. Saying some 38%ers and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, some real headbanger boogie.
What are some of the? Do you know any of the dispensaries offhand that they're in around that area?
They're like all over. Like everyone out in Sac for sure. You know what I mean? So you could find Ellis Greens, and shout out to my man Kev. You know what I mean? Yeah, and my favorite strain that I've tried a few of their strains. My favorite is called Finally. And the whole premise behind it is that when they finally got the genetics right, they were like, finally. You know what I mean? And
I don't know if you could ever get the genetics right, but it's like you finally got something, But I think it's like infinite, You can always tweak and find something new and interesting, and people don't realize, but like breeding genetics is. I mean, we don't breed humans, but we think of we have a kid and we like notice that some of the traits of us the kid has, some of the traits of our partner the kid has, and so and then you see athletes come together and we think, oh, it's gonna be a great athlete. And plants are kind of the same way, but sometimes you'll have two athletes and the kid is like is like into computers and stuff, so you never know what you're gonna get. You never know what you're gonna get, but you have an idea. And so when people who really know how to breed, that they'll pop like 1,000 seeds, right? And just imagine if two of your favorite athletes, male and female, had 1,000 kids, right? You're gonna get one in there that's gonna be special.
That's a great analogy, actually.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this is kind of funny, but LeVar Ball, he's very vocal about that. That's how he chose his mate. He made sure the mother of his children was like athletic. You know what I mean?
Super tall as well.
Super tall, yeah. Like, and then his kids are all in the NBA now. You know what I mean? Like,
it works.
Yeah.
Basketball players.
That's funny.
And Ricky, we got a question here from Dennis. He said, now that Minnesota is legalized, when will we get some Heisman here?
Okay, so we're already in conversations. So, I'm guessing next summer, because once states legalize, that's when it's legal, but it still takes a while to get all the regulations and all that stuff in hand. But as soon as it's open, so I'm saying, by next football season.
There we go.
We'll have some Vikings OG.
Yeah.
some skull OG.
Yeah.
Some candy moss.
I can't lie. I think 9 times out of 10, I would buy the thing that had the skull on it. Like, oh yeah, that thing's about to kill me. Let me get this.
You died at least one time, at least the first time, right? At least,
right.
And then if it got you, then you're coming back.
You got to have the purple people eaters mixed in somewhere, and just like crazy purple strain. Like, the Minnesotans would go crazy for it.
Or the moss. Just
moss. Right.
The Randy.
I'm just saying, like, but also I'm thinking, we do baseball too, so we have to get some honoring of Kirby Puckett.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Kirby Bucket, your enthusiasm? That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
Yeah, and we have a bunch of people who follow us who are in Minnesota. So, I know they'd be really excited to get to puff on the Heisman out there.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. I want to rewind back. So it's like you're just moving, regular American, right? Someone recognizes you, then everyone's like, "Oh shit!" And you're in it's almost like seeing Elvis in Graceland, right? Like, oh my God, it's Ricky Williams in a dispensary. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, but what's trippy is because you never know, right? Especially I'm about a generation and a half past the current time, and so the young kids in the dispensary, a lot of times they might recognize me by name and they might not know the story, but they're not going to be able to recognize me by sight. And so a couple of weeks ago, I was just a scruffy looking black dude in in the dispensary, and I got treated a certain way. The same dispensary, somebody recognizing me, it's like a completely different experience, you know?
Right?
Oh my God, it's so crazy.
I mean, man, Hess is in the house. So what up, Ricky?
What up?
What up, Hess?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, shout out to Hess, man. He's the shout out to the cannabis.
Hess is the man. Hess is the man. He's an OG.
He's the one that's responsible for all this right here. So, man, shout out to him.
He's the pimp with the limp.
And Yaku Mania. So here's one of our homies out in Massachusetts. He said, I loved your stuff here at the, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Temescal Wellness. Yeah, when you guys were doing all your visits and everything out there, he was out there meeting you guys.
Yeah, we'll be back. I mean, to me, it's fun, especially going to other AFC East cities and just AFC. I mean, just NFL cities and pushing product, because the people that show up to the dispensaries pretty much are all football fans, and you know, it's cool to interact with fans who weren't Dolphin fans or Saints fans, but they were Ricky fans. So yeah, it's badass.
You've been pretty much on a tour for like the last couple years, going to the dispensaries. Where do you think's been one of the spots that you felt like showed you the most love? Maybe it was one of the biggest turnouts, or just the vibe.
No, pretty much every place I go, the people that show up show a lot of love, and I have to say en masse, because they're such huge sports fans that they really showed up. It was especially when we go to especially when we go to small towns, because a lot of celebrities don't show a lot of love to these small towns, and so we kind of made a point to show love to everybody.
I want to shout out Fitchburg, Mass, man. Shout out to my homie Matty Law. Fitchburg's the Grammy place out there, you know what I mean?
And Michael said, when should we expect the Heisman and Jeter's collab to drop?
So we've already done. We do it every Super Bowl.
Nice.
And every year when we drop during the Super Bowl, we talk about having something more sustained, because we dropped the Sticky Ricky, and that's an exclusive for Heisman and Jeter. So at the very least, every Super Bowl. So the idea is we'll be launched in Nevada for this upcoming Super Bowl. So hopefully we'll have a nice collab to drop there.
Is it known that Jeter consumes, or does he play a real low key?
It's not named after Derek Jeter. That's just the name of the company.
Okay. I was like, because I was blown away. I was like, oh, Derek Jeter smokes. I like him now. I always couldn't stand Derek Jeter.
I don't know. It's funny, where we live in the big scheme of things. We live in a weird time where, at least for us adults, even if we still are consuming all day, we still have that negative stigma. But I feel like the kids that are being born now, especially, it's not even they're not even gonna think about it as being illegal or negative. Kind of the way that we grew up thinking about alcohol.
Yeah, like I always told my girl said, "Sorry, are you gonna smoke when the kids grow up? Are you gonna smoke with them?" I'm like, well, I said, put it like this: if I caught them smoking, and now I could be like, "Hey, look, you're not of age." Like if they were kids, you know what I mean? Like I was smoking since I was like 13. You know what I mean? And like when my dad caught me, he just took my stash, and then I remember him having to lecture me, and I could smell my weed on his breath. I'm like, "This motherfucker." And now my mom's making him lecture me. I'm just trying to get to this dinner. I'm like, "Dad, you want to get to dinner as fast as me." He's like, just you're gonna throw your life away, and you're selling the shit, and blah blah blah, whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say. That's basically what the conversation was like.
Yeah, that's it. But it's different though. Like. To me, parenting, like while being a smoker, I enjoy it. When my oldest son, he was like 15 or 16, and we were talking about smoking. I was like, listen, I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and tell you not to do it. Yeah. But I said, listen, the way that I smoke, that it makes me a better student, not a worse student. So if I'm going to be okay with you smoking, I need to see the same kind of behavior that I expect from myself. And so it was a real conversation. I said, if I'm trying to talk to you and you can't pay attention, and you leave when you get the munchies, you leave all the food on the counter, I said, that's not a smoking issue, you know, but it's not going to make it easy for me to stick up for you when your mom is like getting pissed about it. So I said, you know, you learn how to do it in a way where it adds to your life, then you're not going to have any complaints.
My dad worked in the Silicon Valley, and when I started smoking with him, I was like 18. And by this time, you know what I'm saying, it was like, nah, I'm really kicking it with my pops, you know what I mean? Because before it was like he's talking to me like father son, and now it's like he's leveling with me. And he would always express like, you know, I'm self-made, and it was two like duality of man, the one life you show them and the one you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always expressed that because it was illegal during those times.
Yeah.
You know? In fact, I was 18 at like 2003. You know what I mean? So. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you know, you can't be walking around here reckless and shit, smoking a blunt in front of Target. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's funny. My pops had a similar conversation with me, but it's a different time, and hopefully we're not repeating exactly the same thing our parents said. Hopefully we're doing the updated version of it. You know?
I hope so.
Right. We had to download the update. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my son.
I didn't have enough storage space though. That was the damnest thing. So I'm still on that last one. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, it's worth the investment. It's worth the investment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my son. He was born like a month after the bill passed in California, so it's crazy. Like he's never been alive where it wasn't legal.
Wow.
You know, wherever he's been living. We moved to Vegas, and it's crazy how illegal it was back when I turned 21 in 2007 compared to now, where every single advertisement on every single cab out there is for a dispensary.
All the billboards too. It's crazy. But driving out to the desert, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a different time. Different time.
I can't wait to see what the casino or the hotel or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be a hotel and casino, but when they actually get the regulated one for smoking here.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That casino's gonna lose a lot of money to those gamblers, because I swear when I'm high, I'm like more intuitive, and like I feel like I'm like, you know what? Let's hit that 17. 4.
Yeah.
See, told y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you get these good feelings when you're high. You know, when you're drunk, you have no inhibition. You just the casino's racking it up, bro. I feel like there'll be more people like that. There'll be obviously more people that are cannabis enthusiasts that stay at that spot versus alcoholics, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Or is it going to be a casino, or is it just going to be a consumption hotel?
So I'm not 100% sure yet.
I think they're trying to figure out the laws with how to combine gambling and cannabis. But it's an interesting conversation to think of how alcohol and gambling interact differently than cannabis and gambling. It's like, you know, alcohol, they give you free drinks. I think when that people smoke, you gotta have like free snacks. You know, that'll keep people hanging around for sure.
You gotta have the ultimate restaurants in there. Like it's got to be something for the ultimate munchie spot,
right? And I just like randomly, I want to see like guys like Ricky just walk across the lobby, or like Woody Harrelson. You're like, oh, we're in the right spot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Yep. Zach said my dad's number one rule was no powder, no cigarettes, but would let me smoke weed.
Yeah.
And that's some good advice.
Some great advice.
Motherfuckers got to do something. That's what that's how my dad always used to tell me. So just don't be doing that other shit. You know what I mean? I had great examples in my family too of that other shit. So like, don't be like your cousin so and so, or don't be like your cousin Butch. That was always like growing up, because we had a cousin Butch that went crazy on the drugs. You know what I mean? So it's like, shout out to my cousin Butch. I'm glad he existed, because I'm like, we don't want to go down that path.
Yeah, and Yakumania said, I've been arrested 3 times for weed, so if I ever have the stigma, PTSD, glad the next generation doesn't have to go through what we did. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been arrested so many times for weed, it's bullshit. Like it was almost crazy, because like they changed the 3-strike law when I potentially would have been getting a 3rd strike maybe for weed. And this is like way back.
Damn, that would have been bro.
Wow.
Weed?
Wow.
Yeah, all weed.
I mean, look at the cats in New Orleans, right? Or in Louisiana. Like, you know what I mean? You used to get caught with a joint and you're doing some time, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I did a podcast with this dude who 3 strikes, conspiracy, conspiracy charge was his third strike. And I was talking to him, and I was like, what was going through your head, you know, when that judge, right, in the movie Life, right, and when the judge hit that gavel, he said, life. I was like, what was? Obviously, he was out, so he ended up getting out. The work of Last Prisoner Project, but still having to go through that experience when you hear that for weed, you know, for life, you know,
it's ridiculous.
It's
I know,
crazy.
and the irony of that is weed is life, man. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I'm just trying to help these folks out here, man.
Yeah,
and what George said, he said, I just want to cross a little magical line.
Yeah. But it's kind of what you were saying though about gambling. I think like when people start smoking and they get like more aware of who they are and what's important to them, we become harder to control. And so I understand why if I was in charge of people and I wanted them to behave a certain way, I definitely would make smoking illegal. Because you start smoking, you start asking questions like, why am I doing this shit?
They're self-aware. That's why the weed heads the weed heads over time naturally revolted, right? And just kind of
they did
dance to the beat of their own drum. I mean, musicians, you know, of culture, you know, it's kind of funny how like culture's coming around to it now, because I feel like if people smoke weed, like you're more compassionate. You're more like you were saying it earlier about with my kids. Like I enjoy my kids when I'm high. When I'm not high, I'm like, babe, watch them. I have to go. You know what I mean? The kids are going crazy. I'm four of them. It's crazy, man.
When Dave Chappelle stopped smoking, I realized I'm a real irritable guy when I'm not smoking.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like,
I start smoking. I'm on there. I start playing blocks. Start building shit with the Legos.
Yeah.
Right. I start building some fly shit too. I'm like, hold on, let me get that piece right there, son.
That's what it's all about. And just I mean, the exact opposite for these guys who got to drink, who need to drink to cope with whatever the fuck they're dealing with, got to go to the bar or something on the way home from work. And then like, yeah, it's just the exact opposite when you get around that.
Exactly.
I do feel like people that need like escapism, right? Like you need to find your escape. And it's funny because things like alcohol and controlled substances, it tends to get you out of your space, right? And you know, some people are trying to self-medicate and numb things, but I feel like when you smoke weed, it makes you dwell on the things in the right way you're supposed to. Like, yo, I gotta make like the things that you're supposed to make a change on. You know what I mean? Like weed makes you more self-aware. You know what I mean? Like you said, like it makes you not controlable. You know what I mean? Like I can't let these things that in my life control me. I gotta take control.
Wow. Dropping knowledge, Bogey. So it's real because I think we all do need an escape, but it's like some escapes we come back and shit is worse. But when we escape, at least for me, when I escape smoking, I get inspiration. I get ideas about how to handle shit. You know?
Yeah. And Yakumania said, "Yo, maybe since I want you to stay awake longer, maybe the casinos can promote better sativas."
It's just sativas in general aren't the most popular. So it's like, but they use the sativas to create all the hybrids. You know what I mean? Because like for me personally, my favorite strain is Durban Poison. You know what I mean? And that shit just like is the shit. Like I wrote like dope ass songs on that strain. You know what I mean?
You got to be ready for it. You got to be ready for the
sativa. My bag, like that's like wake up in the morning and I'll roll up some Durban. I'm like, let's hit the day. You know what I mean? Let's go make a change.
Yeah, and
you gotta be ready for that though. Gotta be if you're not ready for a sativa, you got mine will start. If you don't have something to do, right? That's the thing with the sativa. You gotta have something to do. Because if you don't have something to do and you hit that sativa, your mind will just start going. Start getting anxious about shit.
My lady would always
sativas too. Like I mean, makes you too aware sometimes.
But see, that's what I always tell my girl, because my girl be like, "What is this?" And I would lie to her sometimes about it's a hybrid. Because like, you know what I mean? Because I like it when, you know, my girl's the best when she's high, you know what I mean? She's like, you know, what is this sativa? Let me see. And I'm like, she's all paranoid. I'm like, you're mistaking paranoia for extra awareness. Okay.
Yes, you got it. Bogey, drop it.
Like just you're just extra aware right now. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Hess said, imagine if the U.S. president would puff a joint with the world leaders when they would arrive. Would be a better world. Yeah, Jamie Foxx talked about that when he was doing the Bill Clinton impersonation.
What are we even talking about?
Go over there and talk to Osama bin Laden. He's like, put down that bomb and pick up a bong, man.
But it's true. I bet when they meet, they have a bottle of nice wine there sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably have some of their finest on hand.
Scotch.
Scotch, like they're even gifting it, you know what I mean? Like, and you almost have to take a drink with them because it's a sign of disrespect, if not, and you know what I mean? I mean, you know, what if we come to a day and age where it's like, here's some of our finest Heisman flour. You know what I mean?
We're gonna come, I'm telling you, just for this reason, but in like 16 years, okay, I'm gonna run for president. And I'm gonna have
you heard it first here.
Hey, in the White House, but we're gonna have the finest people come in the White House, you know, roll up, have a seat.
It'd be amazing. I mean, that's what it needs to go that way. It needs to go that way.
That's how our founding forefathers intended it for us to smoke the good ganja. They came here and the indigenous people had it. Man,
well, they said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If that's not cannabis, I don't know what is. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And there it is. That's the whole mantra of the campaign right there in 16 years.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the George Washington day, wasn't it a good cash crop for the southern states?
It was mandatory for people to grow because they needed it for sales for the ships.
Wow. Because those are goods to take back home for real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I wonder what came first, Amsterdam or the colonies? Like that, you know what I mean?
But the Dutch were the ones that started slavery. So I think, you know.
So they were bringing back the product and was like, look at what they're smoking out there, bruh.
Exactly.
And then in true Anglo-Saxon fashion, they capitalized off what they're getting from the colored people. Music.
That's how cannabis got to Americans. It came with the slave ships. They would allow the slaves to bring the cannabis and they would allow them to grow it and use it because they saw that they worked harder and they worked longer in the fields.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, shit, the entire religions was birthed off that too, like the Rastafarian religion, right? Like, because I would imagine like that they were brought to Haiti.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they were smoking on that good kind of sweet sesame. You know what I mean?
The Rastafarian churches sound so lit because that's like their communion is like sparking a joint.
Yeah. So we had in my hometown, San Jose, South Bay area, we had one of them joints. Rastafarian church, and it was a / dispensary, but that was the only one that didn't tax you because they were a non-profit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they're a religion, so it's like whatever you bought, it went to the to the proceeds to their church and whatnot. But like they had good rents over there, so like we'd be like, oh, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go to the Rastafarian, and then you can sit and smoke, and there's somebody giving a sermon, bro.
Oh, I need to start my own church for real.
Right.
Seriously, we definitely will be communing and we'll be talking about astrology the whole time. I'm starting my own astrology church.
You heard it first here.
Yeah, that's gotta happen. Gotta happen. People would love it. I mean, that's what it is all about, these communities, and we're getting too much fakeness in a lot of these churches, and too much is coming out. And people want to get behind someone and something. That's for sure.
Something. People want to believe in something. You know, I think like we all need to believe in something because shit gets hard, and if we have something to believe in, we can handle anything.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
And I swear, man, weed brings people together like no other. Like most of my relationships, like I feel like have either lasted because of weed, and whether it's smoking together or just like having the common bond between it.
Yeah. Same with me, you know, because for so long, especially when I was in the NFL and I got in trouble, I had to like hide that shit. And so it made me like more antisocial. But when I started like telling everyone I smoked, so I was at the Sacramento airport. It was like 20 years ago. I was in the Sacramento airport and some dude came up to me, you know, and I'm used to people coming up to me because they're fans, but it was completely different. He came up to me like man to man, not like fan. He was like, "Hey, I got some fire in my car. You want to go? You want to come smoke with it?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "This is what fame is supposed to be about."
That's how me and my boys met you. We was in Vegas. We was in Vegas, bro. I think, man, it's got to be like 13 years ago, maybe 14. It was a long time, but we was just walking through the casino, and then next thing you know, my boy's like, "We're gonna go smoke with Ricky right now, Ricky Williams, bro." And like, I'm on a Molly, I'm in Vegas. That's just what you did in Vegas. And then we went and burned in the parking lot. It was like maybe not even 2 minutes, and security walked there, bro. And then like there was like, "Oh, Ricky Williams," and then we were like, "All right, dapped you up, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But it was just one of those things. My boy was like, "Yo, I was wanting to Ricky, bro. It was Ricky Williams right there."
Yeah,
man. That's awesome.
And I'm sure you had a million. That's why I know you. I'm pretty sure if I wasn't on the Molly, you might have remembered me. Because then you know what I'm saying, I'm a talking motherfucker.
What's that, Ricky? Give me one of those random, like just some random memory of a smoking session with like a random fan, random person.
I remember you posted something one time. You were like somewhere, and then you're like, "Yo, who got the tree?"
I was in Philly. Yeah, I was in Philly.
Yeah.
I was in Philly doing a workshop, and I was just sitting there, and I was bored, and it was, you know, this is the early Twitter days, and so I just put a message out on Twitter that says, "I'm in Philly, you know, what's up?" And these kids hit me back, and they were like, "Hey!" So they came and picked me up at my hotel, and we went back to I think they're college kids. We went back to it wasn't a dorm room, but we went back to their apartment, and it was like the classic college apartment, you know, and they had this big ass sectional couch. Right? We all kind of sat on the couch. And again, we were in Philly, and they brought out those old school big ass Philly blunts, you know, and split it. Yeah, they split it up, and we rolled it and sat there watching ESPN all night. And I learned something very valuable about Philly fans. Okay, Philly fans are about it. It don't matter how shitty, how horrible their teams are. The Philly fans think their team is the best. Because this year the Sixers were trash. You know, we were watching. They were like, "Oh, if we were healthy and we'd be the best team." I was like, I love these kinds of fans. That's why I wish I would have been an Eagle. Philly fans are about it.
Yeah,
you were an Eagle with Andy Reid, bro.
I know.
Wow,
that would have been nuts, bro. I mean, from a fantasy perspective, because like Andy Reid just, you know, no matter who it is, he produces.
That's why I wanted to go there. You know. I'm a West Coast running back. I'm a West Coast style running back. That's probably like my favorite system to play in.
Yeah, because it's so what's a West Coast like? Because I know people, it's morphed into just part of the game now. But like for people that don't know, the West Coast offense, it's like what, like a lot of like bubble screens and like short passes, a lot of like design like yak shit.
That's what it's evolved into, but the basic principle is simple principles, and you know what you're doing. You get the ball out quick, you know. And so in the West Coast system, like the way they train us is we have to learn. I had to learn the halfback, the fullback, the slot receiver. You have to learn every single position because they can call any formation because it's concepts. You know, so we had probably 12 concepts, but we could run those concepts from 50 different formations.
Every formation.
Exactly.
Dang.
And so it makes you dynamic, and the defense doesn't, you know, they have to recognize the formation, and then they have to recognize the concept. And if you learn how to do it efficiently, it's really hard to stop.
Oh yeah. Who do you think does the best version of the West Coast offense right now?
I think the only coach I think that's like a pure West Coast coach now is McCarthy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike McCarthy is like one of the because Andy Reid, that's just part of the repertoire. Like Andy Reid.
So he's expanded it. He got Patrick Mahomes. It's still the same idea, the basic concepts, but with Mahomes, you know, and Andy Reid's a wizard. He's been doing it forever, so he's taking it to that next level. But I think the epitome of the West Coast, the heyday of the West Coast, were those 80s Walsh-coached 49ers teams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Roger Craig, right? He was the first one, and he was like really like a fullback, right?
Jerry Rice. Rathman was a fullback. So that's what made Jerry Rice so great. You know, if you look at the highlights of Jerry Rice, you'll just see slant. Right, he'll be taking slants.
He's gone.
Yeah. So when I came out of high school, Bill Walsh had gone back to coach at Stanford for a year, and when the recruiting season started, I was 100% going to Stanford, and then he retired in the middle of the recruiting season, and then I switched to USC or Texas. But I would have been a Stanford Cardinal for just to play in that West Coast offense.
Yeah,
you know, and for the sake of like your weed like destiny. It was almost like no matter where you went, you were gonna be destined. Because if you went to play in the Bay, like you would have been all in the weed at Mecca again. Still, you know what I mean? Like
it's funny, you know. Like I launched the brand Heisman, and if I think about like the long story of it, I feel like the reason I won the Heisman Trophy was so that I could launch a brand called Heisman. Because
wow, so destiny had to bring you to Texas.
Destiny, I had to win the Heisman Trophy in order to launch the brand. I had to have those experiences in order to get this word out. Because even when I got to Texas, when I went on my recruiting trip, they were taking me around the campus, and we went to this old room called the Tea Room. This is an amazing room. They had this big room, and they had like hundreds of pictures of All-Americans for like 80 years in all the sports. And right outside of the room was Earl Campbell's Heisman Trophy. And on my recruiting trip, when I walked in that room, I saw Earl's Heisman Trophy, and I thought, I thought to myself, you know, I could win one of those if I come here. And then when I got to Texas, my freshman year, 1995, we were in the computer lab, and the head of the computer lab says we all need to get an email address. So I rose my hand. I said, "What's email?" And she broke it down. I was like, "Damn, what's my email address?" As a freshman, my email address was Heisman@utexas.edu.
Nice.
Right? That's mine. So I knew there was something in my destiny that had to do with winning that trophy. But it didn't stop when I won the trophy, because fast forward, I got in trouble for smoking. Right? I had an opportunity to launch this brand, and here we are.
You heard it first, crew. That was hard.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's an awesome story. And yeah, destiny. It was written in the stars years ago.
It was written in the stars years ago. See, we have a destiny, but we have to fulfill it, because there's a lot of things written in the stars that we didn't read. You know, we didn't get the memo, and just kept on going right by us.
Oh yeah, Ricky. So while you're here, I found my birth certificate in the process of moving, and I found the exact time I was born. So I'm ready to book.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay, good.
And
so
if possible, I want to do like the in-person one, because I don't live, I'm like, within like an hour range from you. You know what I mean?
We got you. So what time were you born?
3:40 a.m. on 11/30/84.
Ooh, Sag.
Yeah, I'm like people like someone told me one time, and every time you got a rabbit hole, they're like, "You're a Sagittarius, but you're in the Ophiuchus window."
Ooh,
and then I was like, "Oh, the serpent bearer!" Like I knew what it was. You know what I mean? I was like, "Oh, the other constellation, the bad one." I need to know more. You know what I mean?
What city were you born in?
I was born in San Jose, California, the Big Bay Area.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's gonna be, because I guess as they say, right? In order to sometimes see clear where you're going, you gotta know clearly where you came from, right? And I feel like
100%.
It's one of those things
100%.
that can clarity.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this gonna be an interesting conversation. I got the chart. It's gonna be. I'm looking at the chart, and already what you said about your dad. Already, I see it in the chart. It's crazy.
Yeah, my pops came from the PI at like 19 years old. He came in 78. Yeah. Came over to America. He came to Frisco. So actually, when my mom was pregnant, they moved to San Jose, because that was like the young, thriving city where you want to raise a family out of the city, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was that whole deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got siblings, huh?
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah. I could tell you have a lot of stuff in the house of siblings. So I would expect, that there's a lot of
like I always wanted
a lot of stuff between you and your siblings.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I wanted my household. That's why I got 4 kids of my own. Like I wanted to have more kids than I had siblings. You know what I mean? I always and that's kind of something that's kind of like normal kids wouldn't think about. When I was the kid, I used to think about shit like that. Like I'm gonna have a family one day.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
I know, right? Now I gotta get high to deal with it. Gotta feed all these kids. Goddamn, I gotta get the bread. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it out here, B.
Yeah. Man. Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for sharing those stories with us, man. And, you know what I mean? The crew really loves you, man. Like our community, you know what I mean? Is that and it's dope because we're like if we weren't the guys in this, you know, that rock with this community, we would be in a community like this because you know what I mean. It's you know, weed heads, they find each other, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And even though a lot of this is based around fantasy football and sports and, you know, the whole 420 collab, but yeah, there's guys like a stranger who's in the chat here. He's like, yeah, he doesn't play fantasy football at all, but he's here for the smoke sessions. And he found us the day, the DeMar Hamlin day. We always did.
You're like the only one streaming live.
Yeah,
I remember I was on the mushrooms crazy that night, and I was so devastated because you know what I mean, because of like of the events of the night. Like I left the stream, I was like, this is crazy. It's crazy to do it right now on the streams. Like I was like, Brett, did we see Brett just die for real? Like that shit was crazy. You know? And thank God that the world didn't witness that. I mean, we already see stuff like that with like police brutality and shit like that. Like imagine the impact on if he actually passed, bro. It would be like it would change football forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that might sound selfish of me saying because I enjoy football, but also you know saying that for that kid's sake because it's like you know what I mean that was really fluky. You know what I mean?
Super fluky, and and so yeah, that was the final day of that was the final day of the fantasy football championships for you know a big percentage, huge percentage. So yeah, that was the most. I mean, it was unfulfilling to a lot of fantasy managers. So I think there's more of like an urge to play this year.
Yeah, to get that bad taste out of the mouth.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we're all super excited that he didn't pass away because yeah, that just would have been horrible. But yeah, we're ready to get back to it. Like we're hosting, it's going to be in August 18th, 19th, and 20th here in Vegas. It's going to be a big fantasy football 420 event and dozens and dozens of live drafts. We have we're doing a big money league and a big money league for us, $600. And we got the prize is like this custom wrestling belt. Let me show you.
Oh wow!
And it's a guy who makes like wrestling belts for like a lot of independent like wrestling promotions. But like, so I got this one done up last year. Oh, there we go. And it's got the bong, got the fantasy football hustler. We got the 420 crew like emblem, and yeah, these things are like close to $2,000, and yeah, whoever wins is going to be able to keep the gold.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a little man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Anything else? Anything that you got coming up that you want to let people know about?
We're just grinding right now. You know, spending most of my time getting Leela right. But yeah, so I'm going out to Pennsylvania. Check out, I think I'll be in Pittsburgh and Philly this month. You can find out more information on Heisman.com.
Cool. And if you guys don't follow Heisman on Instagram, make sure you go do that because that's where you can stay plugged in. You know, you just set up the automatic alerts and they're always keeping us in the loop of all the Ricky appearances and everywhere that he's going and all the dispensaries that he's visiting along the
way. My bad, had to take that phone call. I was trying to make it quick. I was like, oh, hurry up.
All good. Well, Ricky, I know you got some things going down as you always do, but man, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing your time, and everyone in the 420 crew super excited every time you come show some love.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, Ricky, if Hus can connect us,
please,
so I can book, we can figure out a time to book that because I definitely want to do that.
Yeah, please.
All right, awesome.
Sounds good. We'll
appreciate you, Ricky.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the 420 crew, it's your favorite Heisman's favorite Heisman, Ricky.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Hell yeah. Super
That
cool.
was cool too because for everybody that knows, bro, like me and us, we always like talk about how we want to answer this and answer that, but like and it was just chopping it up with them. It's always the shit, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gonna lie to you, it takes a lot out of me to not just want to ask him about Master P because I'm like about my hero. Master P's my hero. I always wanted to be like, yo, I bet you Master P would be like, I'll drop $100 million on some weed. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't P in the cannabis game, man? Like, he's the one that it's kind of dope because my hero is synonymous with Ricky Williams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Master P was blowing up, he was like, bro, I'm about to do it all.
Long before Jay-Z. Long before Jay-Z
and on. He set the blueprint, bro. Independent major, you know what I mean? And he got the game from the Bay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's our claim to fame. That's how I grew up on Master P. Like I didn't grow up on the New Orleans Master P. I was hearing the local shit, you know what I mean? Like, because they were putting tapes out like what was it? It's called. See, Master P is funny because they always knock him for biting shit. But because he bit a lot of shit from the Bay Area. Clearly, I mean, or you could say bit or take, lace game. But one of the things was it was a saying out here, 18 with a bullet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel me? You know what I mean? We be going out, you know what I mean? We shooting, and so he had a song 17 with a reason. You know what I mean? It's you know what I mean? It's it's not the same, but you get what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. Always awesome when Ricky comes up, gets to share some stories. And if you guys get a chance to go meet him in a dispensary, make sure you go do that because he's super dope. Especially if it's a place you're going to be able to smoke and stuff. He's super cool.
I'm walking awkwardly because my girls don't get me in the shot.
But yeah,
it's a good day. Way to start the day, right? Mimi's birthday. It's funny too because Mimi, she was hyped, bro. She almost stayed up till midnight, almost she knew.
Knew it was about to be her birthday, huh?
And then and it's funny because this is the universe for me, bro, or for us, for real. Is that it's little shit that it blows my mind because it happens too constantly. Yesterday morning, I'm trying to figure out what shirt to wear, and I put the Gemmo shirt on. Then my phone rings. It's FaceTime. It's Gemmo. I'm like, hey, look at this. And you know what he says? The universe, man. That's what he said. Look, I've just changed. I'm in my drawers too. I put the shirt on. I've never do that too. Where I'm in my drawers and I put the shirt first. So I'm a pants first guy. And Gemmo calls me. He's like, oh, you're in your underwear. Yeah, no, look at the shirt, bro. The universe. You know what I mean? No, and then so then the YouTube algorithm, because I'll put it on Super JoJo for her, and it just plays and plays. You know what I mean? Then it's fucking midnight, and it's the birthday one.
Cool,
right? And she's dancing, and she always dances to the birthday one. But it's I'm does she know this time? You know what I mean? And it just happened to be on.
That's funny.
It's fucking universe. I swear I have a TV show that everyone will watch because it's just hilarious. And yes, I would watch my own show and laugh. I streams and laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, that shit was funny as fuck. That last week's Playmakers was funny.
Yeah,
I like the Guess Who game. I'm having fun doing that one. I had fun doing. Remember when we were doing the What If? That shit was hilarious too. Cause I would just come up with the most. What's ironically is no one out of all the Sam Darnold shit. You never brought up the fact that, but one of my what ifs was, what if Sam Darnold is the top 5 QB in fantasy? Remember, because that first 5 weeks,
yeah,
it was going crazy. And then I told Peacock on the thumbnail, I need Darnold, and he's half Terminator. He's Darnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, because I was the one where you
he's the Terminator.
Before that one, you did the reel or video or whatever where you had the Terminator music in the back.
Oh yeah. You know what's crazy? I got flags for that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
James Cameron ain't letting you take his shit.
Well, because see, now this is before you start.
Bogey in the Matrix. Let's hear what let's smoke a ball. Let's smoke a ball. He'll be back. He'll be back. Man, I cannot. I cannot wait until my new Legos come in. I ordered it from I ordered it from Lego.com instead of going down there. Let me see. I'm trying to find this shit. See if I could track the shipping. Because, man, I want to start building that Pac-Man Lego. Where the hell is it? And Yaku said, such a great spirited man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's the man. He's the man. I'm glad that he digs the vibe of the show. And we're just having normal conversations, with him. It's not really a planned interview. We know he's going to be on, but everyone saw how it goes. It just goes with the flow of the conversation. And so it's cool. He just he gets to come on, keep it real, smoke. And this one was an early one because usually he comes on. Usually he was coming on in the afternoon. So this one, top of the morning is right. All right, where the hell? And we'll see if. Okay, cool. Well, Bogey says he's got to take a call. So you know what? It's a perfect time to shut it down. We've been waking and baking for almost 3 hours now. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. Do me a favor and go subscribe to both podcasts, Fantasy Football Hustler podcast and the Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast. Don't forget, tonight we are breaking down the Butterfly Effect 5 West Coast time. And it's going to be me and Nelly now. Bogey might pop in, but it's Mimi's birthday, so he's probably got some stuff going on. But FNT, back at 1 West Coast time. We'll be smoking with you guys. We'll see what kind of news we got. Appreciate you guys rocking with us, and we'll see you a little later. Peace out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the